Macho Man. I don't know if you're available. You're running. Macho's having major drama right now.
He's still in the studio.
We're the. I don't know. This is not a very good analogy, and I hope they don't take it. I hope Brett and Macho Man don't take offense to this. I'm just strictly being funny. Okay, this is strictly being funny. By the way, Babyface in today, Thursday, December 7th, 2023. Babyface, when you and I get on a roll, we could just talk sports just for hours. Just
yeah. Anna already had the eyes on roll, ready to go.
Anna, I'm going to try to, not do that, but I can do what I want because it's my show, okay?
I haven't even said anything.
I said you didn't say. You don't need to say anything. The second you walk in, you hear sports being talked, and those eyes, you could hear them literally hit the top of your skull.
Well, it's not illegal to roll your eyes.
But don't say I didn't say anything, because you can say things.
No, I was more referring to Bubba.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, I would never tell you what to do.
You guys are exhausting, both of you. Just shut up. Listen, so here's the deal. Here's what I'm saying. I equate the BRN much like we're at the very top of the ship, steering it. Like navigating it, and they're the guys back in the boiler room that are keeping the motor stoked up and, keeping us going and
shoving in the coal and,
just working their ass off.
But everything's about to break. Everything's like 1 second away from failing.
Yeah, I mean, we're not a brand new ship, Brian. We've been around a while. We got some, stuff that's zip tied together in order for it to work. But when we have technical difficulties to either get on, it's very complicated because we have an audio aspect to our business and we have a video aspect to our business. Our audio aspect to our business gets fed to different places than our video aspect to our business, and usually it's seamless. And today they were having some problems, and Mach was just full hot.
Yes,
he was full hot. Mach just gets full hot. He starts mumbling. He starts mother effing people. Delts gets on swode.
He gets in that scary mode.
And it is funny. He super focuses. He's like, oh, he screwed us so bad with this.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, Jesus, Mach, are you okay? So Mach, I don't know if he's probably not even available. He's probably back wiring stuff up because we were having technical difficulties. But I think Rhett might be able to chime in from the motor room. Rhett to the boiler. I'm sorry, Bubba to the Rhett boiler room. Hello, are you guys back there?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, we're here.
Did we get our machines all worked up? Are we still? Are our propellers still turning? What's going on?
He's still cleaning up some loose ends, but we did get most of our main things up to speed. I think the biggest issue is that all the problems he ran into today, he had zero expectation to have to deal with it today. So they kind of really messed up his morning.
Ask him if he's mad at me. I hope he's not mad at me.
No, he's not mad at you.
All right, perfect.
He's never mad at you.
Speaking of cleaning up, did Bub ever get with you on the crap in the green room?
Yeah, I did. We had.
Because I stepped in that.
Yeah, thanks, Snitch.
Snitch? I stepped in your dog's crap, man.
That was 3 weeks old, so it left a huge stain on your shoe.
No, it was just disgusting to step in dog crap when you're walking around.
I mean, we're a major place of business here, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it happened a week ago. He just wanted to bring it
up.
I'm in so much. I'm in so much between then and now, and it was after the show, so it's not like I'm bringing up super old stuff.
I don't want to get you two hating each other, okay? Rhett, I did speak to Rhett about it, and he's working on training his spoiled dog into not using my facility as a litter box, and that he needs to go outside like how I've perfectly trained Bella. But he's still a puppy. She's still a puppy, and she's still learning. We just can't let her have the mindset that it's okay to just drop bass right inside my. That's a learned behavior.
Yeah.
So that means that Rhett's gonna probably have to start taking her out more, which I think he has, and encouraging her to do little pooties. And when she does a big pootie, you make a big deal about it. That's how you potty train a dog. When they finally go outside, you're like, yay, yay, have a treat for them, whole 9 yards.
Yeah, do the same thing for Walker.
So, Rhett, yes, I have.
When he goes
Walker
outside.
poops in the yard.
Yeah, except Walker. Now, hold on. So, yes, Brian, I did talk to Rhett, and we're working on that, and we hope. One of the things that we hope is that Scout really liked that deep shag in the green room because she could really kind of hide her her little Tootsie Rolls better than the deep shag. I think she figured that out. And unlike the low ply carpet that we have in the rest of the building, which the turd would just pop right on at you, but in the shag, in the deep bowels of the shag, sometimes, Brian, she could sneak a little lollipop in there and you not know about it. So one of the remedies is everybody needs to be conscious about keeping that door shut. You can. The bathroom's available for you to use, yes, but make sure you keep that green room door shut so that Scout can't get back there. So now, Brian, I'm having to quarantine a piece of my business off so that this dog doesn't Tootsie Roll me up.
They were everywhere.
Oh, God, there were a bunch of them. I mean, listen, I ain't mad at you, Rip, but there was like 7 of them.
It was ridiculous.
She's like just blowing minds out there. It was bad. I mean, that's like her personal dump back there. You know what I'm saying? I got to poop. Do I, A, look at my dad and cry? Because that's what Bella will do, and you know that they have to go outside. Bella is so well trained that Bella just looks at me like I could literally be on my recliner watching TV, Lummy. Even during a Packers game, bitch won't give me a break. She'll walk right up to me and go, Of course, if I was to be totally honest with you guys, I don't take her out. I go, Erica, Bella needs to go TT. Get the lace and take her out.
Your dog. It's your dog when she needs something.
Get Bella. Go cry to your mom. So unfortunately, Rhett, you don't have a human slave like I do. A human. At
least you're honest about it.
A human sexual slave that does anything I want. And now don't listen to this. I talk about the best girlfriend / worker ever. Not only is she my girl.
Just called her a slave.
Well, I'm just saying. She knows I'm kidding. She's lucky. She's happy to get she's happy to get the airtime, please. But she also does all of our merchandising. Yeah,
the merching.
All of our merchandising.
How about just all the merch?
Yeah, make a special merch crick shirt that says "ISIS-D" for airtime.
No, maybe just a merch crick tank top for the ladies. I don't know. There was this artwork that I saw. Somebody had a cricket with big boobs. Remember that, Lummy?
Yes.
You're going to use that for the merch crick mafia. Maybe, you know what I'll do, Brian? I'll throw her a little shirt, merch crick mafia, and then I'll make her. That'll give her the little psychological boost that she needs when times get tough.
Will all the kids in Africa be wearing it like the Dan shirts that never sold?
Oh,
the Dan shirt sold pretty well, actually.
Yeah. I saw.
You're just a little jealous because you don't have a shirt. Okay.
I'm wearing my
polo.
shirt. Are you kidding? The #1 selling shirt you've ever sold.
Well, not necessarily, but
if you'd ordered more.
Well, but here's the deal. Would you like? Do you think we should? Is there any? Would you like? I know that this is the Babyface inspired polo, but it doesn't have anything about you on it. So, do you think we should maybe come up with a Babyface shirt?
No, they won't sell. I'm comfortable with that. I'm honest about it.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of the heel of the show, right? I mean, that's kind of like your role.
I am the antithesis of everything.
The antithesis of dickness.
who do you think is liked less, me or Brian?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Right?
That is a tough one.
That's neck and neck.
That's
neck and neck.
I think familiarity breeds contempt, and you're on the air more.
Anna wanted me to say, Anna, of course, Brian, you're so much better, but I didn't.
No. I'm. It's truly an honest question because I think it is a close race between who is liked the least between the two of us, and I do think it's me.
Really?
Only because
just 'cause I'm on the air more.
Yeah, if I was in here 5 days a week, everybody would hate me.
What do they not like about you, Anna?
I'm everything.
I guess we probably shouldn't get into that.
Yeah, let's not.
Won't be good for your mentals.
No, we just started the day trying to start on a
or your
good foot, thank you.
chickens.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were talking about the
dogs.
Yeah.
Which love your dog. I had to put mine down over Thanksgiving. It was awful.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh my God.
I didn't
That's
talk
like worse
about
than
it.
a human death.
I
didn't talk about it on the show last week because it was still
too fresh.
Right. Yeah.
Listen, I had to put Pookie down a couple years ago, and she's been with me for 17 years, and oh my God, I still to this day, because I have a little picture of her, and I have a little urn that her ashes are in. Listen, the people who euthanize your dogs, they got a racket going on.
Yeah, but they're amazing.
No, they
and
are amazing. They are amazing, but they do have a very much an emotional racket going on. Would you not at least agree to that?
Yeah, we ended up not wanting to keep his ashes. We did the paw print in the clay.
Yeah, but they still got you for the. They still
got me
you
for the cremation.
Right. I mean,
yeah, because what are you going to do? You're like, we can leave you the body with you, or for $225, we'll take it with us. I'm like, well, I'm not sitting here with a dead dog body.
Right, and you put it in the garbage. Like, what do you do?
I think people bury it
Yeah, some
sometimes.
people do bury it.
Okay,
Yeah,
but still.
I've got coyotes in my neighborhood. They will.
I understand, Brian. I'm
dig
just
that
saying
up.
some people do. That's
Could
all
you
I'm saying.
imagine
No,
the
but-
trauma of
but hold
waking up
on.
in the morning and your dead dog's carcass is been torn
Maybe
up by
you want
coyotes?
to do a little taxidermy in the house.
Hold on, but here's the deal. Now listen, but they get you like when you call them up to come to your house to quietly put your animal to sleep, in a very humane. And
they're in the most important thing is your animal is comfortable and
their home.
in a place in
Right.
their home rather than taking to a vet, dumping it off on the table.
And so, they just don't euthanize them and say, okay, like they don't. They just don't euthanize them and say, okay, you've already that's however much money for the euthanization, and we'll take it from here. No, they don't do that. They say, all right, you paid for the euthanization. Now it's an extra, 225 or an extra whatever. If you'd like us to take the body and dispose of it, and then if you'd like us to take the body, and you'd like to have a cremation, your dog cremated or your cat cremated, and you keep the ashes. It's an extra yippee-yo. And then don't forget, you can also do the clay paw print with the little picture, bifold little picture that you can hang up somewhere or put on your desk or something like that. And you can order as many of those, and those are $67.95. And then we have a special thing of urns here, and you can pick out. There you go, how cute that one is. Yeah, that's $87.50.
They sold me a backpack too.
And then really early on on the kookiness, and then they'll even do this, which I was guilty of this. They go, we got these little necklace keychain gimmicks that we can stuff some ashes down there so that you can always have Pookie with you, even like with a necklace or a keychain. So I got one of those. So on my F-150 truck keychain, Lummy, is a little urn of Pookie.
Oh, they got you every which way, huh?
Yeah. But I mean, am I not correct in the fact that it's kind of a little bit of a racket?
Well, you're in an emotional state. You're a wreck at that moment. That was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life.
Yes or no?
Oh, yeah.
They got you in an emotional racket.
Yeah, it's an emotional
How long
racket.
did you have your dog?
12 and a half years.
But you know what?
He was a 70-pound big boy, and I had to help carry. I had to help carry him out on the
stretcher?
the stretcher afterwards, which was very difficult. And place him in the back of the car. It wasn't fun. It was not a fun experience. I'm glad he his suffering didn't last long. But
I've been through a couple of those. Okay, Brian. Like where they put it, where you're with it. Like I know some people that have literally just dropped off their dogs, and like they don't ever see them again.
Yeah, they're coward POSs.
And it is. I come from the belief, not that anybody really does know, Brian. Nobody can really prove what a dog or a cat goes through when they're in the examining room getting the euthanasia. Like nobody can really prove what that dog or cat's thinking because we don't have the ability to do that. But veterinarians and animal behavior specialists and a bunch of people probably potentially that are accredited to know the feelings of an animal, they have all pretty much unanimously agreed that if you have to put your animal to sleep, it's way more calm and less, less
Traumatic for them.
traumatic and less, painful, mentally and mean. And just if you're there with them, if you're there, who is there, they know they love you. They've been with you for how, for 10, 12, 14, 18 years. You're their daddy or you're their mommy. Like, they're like your child. You're their father.
You're their world.
Yeah,
I mean, everything that they they depend on you for
everything.
Yeah, they don't know anything else.
And if you get some, there are some mean-spirited dogs, but for the most part, your dog loves you unconditionally. Will sit by that door for 4 hours for you to come home. Like that. That dog loves you. Not unless you're one of Lummy's dogs and you're getting a little bit old and you're bad in the eyesight and you're playing toys with it and it miscalculates the distance of you and the toy and the face. Doesn't quite have Kucherov type skills on distance and gnarls your face off, causing you a permanent scar on your left cheek.
Sent me a reminder.
That's a good memorial for his dog.
Yeah, your dog's like, you want something to remember me by, bitch?
I'll give you one.
How about 49 stitches on your left fat face there, buddy? That's for making me eat dry food for the last 3 years. I like that wet stuff. I wonder if animals, Brian, like if they think. Because a lot of times your animal does get mad, or they'll kind of throw a fit and like kind of ignore you. Like sometimes your dog will do that.
Oh yeah, when we would go on vacation,
they get mad at you.
He would get mad. Like he would be very excited when we first got back from a vacation.
Yeah, but
then for the next day it was like the cold shoulder, and you could feel it.
Almost your girlfriend playing freeze out on you.
Yeah,
like right.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost like your wife or your significant other. Nothing's worse than freeze out.
Oh, you hate it, Bubba.
Oh no, hold on. We all deep down hate it.
Yeah, but it really bothers you.
Hold on.
Which is why you're so bad about it that you do the pretext hey, because you don't want to be frozen out. So and you want to know.
I hook you.
Yep. And
don't you think it's brilliant?
Well, it's both brilliant and sad.
Hold on. Isn't that exactly what that's on brand?
That's on brand.
Am I not completely on brand?
Yeah.
Brilliant and sad.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead. Go through my texting technique process here.
So if Bubba wants to talk to you and wants to talk to you quickly or about something specific, he'll just send a text like, "Hey."
Well, first of all, with you, when I reach you, you and I don't have the relationship where we check in on each other and see how we're doing and anything. We're more of not a business, but
it's more transactional.
But it's very much a friendship though as well. Like we can talk about anything, but usually it's we're talking about your ability to be on the show or your schedule or something legally that you might be looking at for me.
Yeah,
I mean that's pretty much with everyone on the show.
Yeah.
Maybe besides Dan.
Yeah.
Or maybe even with Dan.
No,
but I'm not like, hey, how's your Thanksgiving? It's just like,
Dan and I don't really. I probably within the show. I probably text. I know I text Dan the most.
Sure.
But it's not very much. Like I may text Dan 3 times a week. Like that's 4, maybe once every couple days, and just because
scheduling or you have a medical issue
or just check it in, just
you say, hey, how's it going?
Yeah,
I can't even imagine you sending that to anybody.
I've done that on a Saturday before when I'm like
when he's pilled up.
When nobody's got a weekend off, and I'd be like, hey, I hope you're having a good Saturday and doing what Dan wants to do, and he'll say, okay. I'm shooting guns or whatever.
Oh, interesting.
So, but Brian, go ahead and do my hey,
and then you wait. For obviously we have to respond with, hey, what's up, or what's up, or what's going on,
or hello, or
and then he knows that he has your attention, and then that's the point at which he actually tells you what he could have easily texted you to begin with without saying hey, because he doesn't want, once he texts you, he doesn't want to wait around or be in limbo for that response.
All right, so may I? Will you with a very open? No, yeah. I'm gonna give my rebuttal. Mm-hmm. Okay, and with a very open mind and being fair and not trying to get a tookie on me, you answer the question or at least analyze why I do this, and see if you think that is it's a pretty damn excuse, and you may now understand that I'm really not trying to, although I am kind of trying to get you into a conversation that you can't back out of or ghost me, although I probably am trying to do that. I also have this rebuttal as to why I do that, and you've promised, and Anna, only you two cynical mother effers are the two most hated people on the show.
Are also the most truthful.
And also have the most dumb blurt outs, Lumpy, don't you think?
Yeah.
Just
Stupid.
Say it, Stockholm.
It's just stupid.
Right.
Yes,
My man. Stockholm over there running large with the belt. Look at him. 4 monitors. He could rule the world from there, even though he has no idea what's on any of them.
None.
He's got all these charts and all this stuff recording and all this stuff going on over there, and he doesn't really know much
He's
about
like
it.
the mentally handicapped day trader over there.
Yes, he's the mentally handicapped day trader. Exactly.
Everything looks good. Doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
Sell.
So here it is,
Pulling it
Anna.
off.
Anna, here's my
Yeah,
excuse
go
as
ahead.
to why I say when I have a conversation, and this is pretty uniformly, even with Anna.
Oh, you do it with everyone.
I do, like this is my,
Although I will give you credit where credit is due, you are getting better about just blurting out what you need and want.
yeah, but I'm kind of gonna go back to the starting just with
Great,
Hayes.
thanks, Brian.
Because I was working on Brian, like not doing that, like just kind of opening up with my situation.
Yeah, like improving on communicating in a more effective manner.
Let me tell you nothing's more effective than the current Hay technique.
I mean, it depends on what you're trying to get, but yeah,
Okay,
because what we can all do is band together and just say we're not responding to
No,
Hayes.
that's not going to happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, I got a certain amount of guys that work here that aren't going to jump union lines.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
kind of screws the rest of
Right.
us on
Like
the
this-
whole
yeah.
boycott
like-
thing.
Right.
Good luck by yourself, Brian. on that one.
Yeah.
Don't be a you already jumped union lines and when it was a scab, and the league almost threw you out. You know.
Yeah, I'm the
would've
only
been-
one that's going to jump in the
You were
pool
going to be
when
full.
it's cold.
You were going to be 2 days a week, full-time Willie, like the whole 9 yards. But now reflecting upon that, I don't think that your schedule. I don't think that you pissing people off for being on the show and taking away from other parts of your business and life. I think that you really would be mindful of that. And so I think being on more than you already are on might have led to be a little bit of a problem in your personal life. I think maybe.
It would present some. I think 2 days would be the absolute max.
Right.
And of course, if you needed me and you're like, you actually communicated it in an effective way.
But even
Like an adult?
but even 2 days, I think would stress your infrastructure out.
There would just have to, because my wife has a career as well. So
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it
Well,
wouldn't
Dan-
stress it out completely. I could make it work. It would just, it would have to be like Mondays and Thursdays. Those
Meanwhile-
would be the only two that.
But see, meanwhile, Dan, you're very mindful of that. Dan doesn't care. Dan doesn't care who in his family hates him or who at his business hates him or who whatever hates him because he thinks he has to be a 3-time-a-week radio star, which takes
He would do
away-
5 if he
look,
could.
hold on,
look,
which-
being,
hold
being
on,
a
which-
narcissist makes life a lot easier in some ways. I mean, it does.
So Dan doesn't care.
Right.
He doesn't care.
That's what makes it easier is because you're,
You are mindful. You'd be like, you know what? I'm doing these additional days for Bubba. I love doing it. It's fun. The show sounds great. I know I'm helping Bubba. But at the end of the day, man, it kind of stresses out me being a dad and me being a husband and, stuff at work, a couple things at work. I could see where Brian's mind would be like, yeah, this could be a problem. And
I enjoy
and I really,
seeing my
really,
daughter in the morning.
and I really do care what my wife thinks about me. And I really, whereas Dan's like, bitch, I don't care who
It's
I
just that
piss
Dan's
off.
priorities are arranged differently in the order of most to least important.
Well, I think Dan's wiring.
You're
is
probably
different.
number one.
Let's say
No, Dan's number one.
Let's
Oh, well,
say,
that's true.
Let's say Dan's wiring's different. Okay,
Sure.
he's wired different. Which makes
Everyone,
him Dan.
no two people are the same. So.
By the way, I would say that Dan's probably the second most popular person at the BRN.
Without a doubt.
I mean,
After Lummy.
second to Lummy?
No,
Yeah.
second to
yeah,
Bubba.
no,
because Lummy is
Lummy is the most over person in
Yes.
the history
Listen,
of your show.
listen
He is
to me.
easily the
No,
most likable.
He's not. He's
Ever.
ever. No. Hold on now. Listen. This is my show,
Mhm.
and to show you that I'm not narcissistic in some aspects of life.
That's the
And
caveat.
Thank you. But to let you know that I'm truly honest about the healthiness of my program, the history of my program. Everybody would say that I I would say I'm the most important. And realistically, I really am, just because it's my show, it's my content, it's my infrastructure, it's my hosting ability. There's only been one thing that stayed consistent from 1986 to December 7th, 2023. There's only one person that's been there of one of those. Me.
Tom Bean.
Me. Me.
Well, you said the most liked, not the most important.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, they like me the most. I mean,
Of
come on,
course.
it's all
okay,
of it.
that's fair.
The entire show is about me, and so as they may not like me, but
They come for you.
Yeah, like,
That's
right.
weird. But
I'm God. I'm
do.
God, and Lummy is Jesus.
Thank you.
Everybody probably really liked God, but they really loved Jesus.
I'm Judas.
And Jesus wouldn't have been around
Damn
if there was no. Theoretically, if you believe the spiritual,
biblical stories,
the Christian side of spirituality.
history.
Yeah, so you believe that there's this big God, and because of God is a Jesus. I mean, we wouldn't have Jesus if there wasn't a God, correct?
Yeah, because he raped Mary. Remember?
Right. In this way of thinking, if this is the way that you are Christianly wired, then this is the way you think. So, I'm God. They love me, and they just really appreciate, because of me, we even have a game to play. I mean, so I'm ultimately number one, but I'm honest enough about the history of the program to know that just because that I may not rank number one per se as to who's the most popular and likable person is. So it's my world, but I don't have to be the most liked. But understand that if it wasn't for me, bitch, nobody would like Lummy. What would you be like?
Slinging fish.
What radio show would you be the most? I mean, Lummy, you're the most popular guy on a radio show that also produces additional content, on our various other platforms that has over 100 million views. Collectively, we have over 100 million views, 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I mean, we got some really impressive numbers. Wait till the streaming numbers from Bubba Army HQ. Those are out. I just haven't learned how to read them.
You can get a meeting with Mike Rowe. He'll explain it to you.
No, I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, don't worry, it'll only take 3 hours.
I was thinking about maybe having, Lummy, I think the ultimate rib was for me to have you as my spokesperson to Mike Rowe. So Mike Rowe has to deal with you.
Thank you.
And then you have to then give me the information. So
Perfect.
Just imagine how rudimentary he has to tell you about something that you're going to tell me about.
Well, he did that yesterday to me. He gave me about a 2-paragraph sentence on something that I asked, and then he came back with quick answer and had 2 words. And I'm like, why couldn't you just tell me that? And he goes, well, I thought you wanted me to explain it to you and then give you the easier clarification at the end of it.
Listen, we all love Mike Rowe.
Yeah.
Mike Rowe he's very thorough, okay? So listen, I don't want to turn this in from who's the most popular person on the show to the most popular on the person on the show almost had a meltdown over one of the guys that we're working with on Bubba Army HQ.
I love Mike Rowe.
Which is Mike Rowe.
He gets into the tiny details. He's micro.
We love him. Micro.
Micro Mike?
Micro.
Mike Rowe, right? Micro. That's his new name. Don't even ask, Macho Man. Don't even utter that name to Macho Man right now. He might just start. He might run through the wall like the Incredible Hulk. He gets so mad.
He just starts doing push-ups.
Who? Miss Ike Rizzo. So, Lummy, I would say, now, Brian, this is the entire history of the show from April 1st, 1986 to Thursday, December 7th, 2023.
Pearl Harbor Day.
Pearl Harbor Day.
Sorry.
If the all-time most popular person of my program probably wouldn't be, I would say Lummy would be probably number 2 behind. Now, and this ship has already sailed.
Ned.
Behind Ned.
Yeah,
fictional.
Well, okay, so Lummy's the most popular real person to ever be on your show.
Yeah. Now, as far as if you want to talk about a real person that's not, a made-up voice, let's be honest. Manson did Ned. Manson and with
what?
Yes, Manson was Ned, bitch.
Quit lying.
And
No
he would
way.
and even like, so we'd be on the air. One of the reasons why, oh, man, I think we're going to go long on this. And when we go long on segments, that really screws you up, doesn't it?
Well,
So
as
it'd be
long as
better,
you know, yeah. So,
yeah, I mean, like I'm getting ready to really peel this Ned onion back here.
Okay.
And get into the most popular people on the
Well,
show.
why don't we
I think
break and
that's
save it for
what
the
I'm
next
saying,
seg?
bitch. What about breaking? We'll do a nice little tease that's what we're coming back with. Otherwise, we're going to go way over.
Yes.
So,
Mission accomplished. Sure. Another segment filled. More of the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
Wow. Bubba just ruined Christmas for a lot of people out there by saying he's real to me, okay? Like that wrestling meme. It's still real to me. Yes, this is Ned Schnitt. SCHNITTT.
Oh, Jesus.
What, the shooting in Vegas?
Yeah.
3 dead, right?
yeah.
Yeah, but just like who was the shooter? Was this guy who was a summer?
We're going to get into that.
Who was it?
We got to get through this next segment before we get into that. I'm going to wait for that prime time.
Ooh.
Right? Ads are gonna pop up, so it's hard.
I wish he had retired his semi before he went shooting. Semi like that.
I got it.
Like a machine gun or handgun.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll
For
explain.
explaining
Yeah,
that. Thank you.
I'll mansplain it to you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The clock isn't fucking.
Yeah,
Run
your
down.
620 ain't running.
Wait, somebody better tell.
Macho!
No, but somebody
Man!
really.
Macho man. The countdown clock ain't working,
I'm frozen!
Somebody better. No, seriously, Anna,
Frozen like my heart.
will you walk out there and just make
Yeah,
sure?
I'll fucking run out there.
Well, go then, bitch.
Hurry.
Stop. I'll get yours.
Macho man. The clock. Got it.
Yes, ask me anything. I mean, nobody's taking away everybody's guns. I've never suggested that that's feasible. Thank you, fan in Orlando, for letting us know that the break clock didn't start. That's where we got it from. You guys want me to try and make a song parody about Bubba? Let's see. That's Ned. Think of a song.
Bubba Mach said to hit the white button.
Hit what? Oh, what?
Hit the white button.
Hit the white button.
That's what he said. He just said fire the white button.
Oh,
There it is. Okay. Because it was firing on next gen, kind of like it did last week. I don't know why it didn't go to our clock. But now it's going down. So
okay. Well, here's the deal. On the next one that we go into, after I hit it, I'll look up, and if it hasn't clicked over to 2, then I'll manually click it.
Okay. All right. I'll let him know.
Okay.
Thank you, Snizzo. But the starting word for my net is years. For my Bernie, it's look. My Bubba, though, I can just go right into that. So easy. Jowl it up. Deepen your voice a little bit. Sad about Ralph Cirella, huh, Bubs?
Yeah. Yeah.
Lymphoma, and he was having like a routine surgery, and
Yeah. Like it was like, you know, that how they. I think it was one of those situations where they, you know, they always tell you, hey, you could always die while this, but you know, this is a regular procedure, so don't worry about it. You know, that's what they always say.
Yep. Sorry. No, there's no such thing as a simple surgery. Understand that. Any surgical procedure is serious when you're being put under.
Oh, under you?
Yeah. I mean, think about it. They're literally taking you to death's doorstep.
Oh, I know.
It's a balancing act.
Greg, $50 cash up.
Probably not. I got to get ready for the Bubba roast, so I won't have time to make a Bruce Springsteen parody.
Now, let me. Are we going with this clock up here?
No, we're not.
Because that's
We're
super
going off
behind.
the one on the next gen.
We are.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Macho may be coming in here to say something different now. I don't think that's the case. So he told me why he came.
The wires in the back of the rack were pulled loose. Somebody was climbing the ladder yesterday. I'm not going to throw her under the bus. I just did. But it's fixed. So that clock on the walls that we're going by. So I'll fire the
merch crate
was on a ladder trying to get headphones for somebody yesterday.
Oh my God! And she hit what wires?
Sorry. The relay wires that come to everything got pulled loose. I'm not sure. I mean.
Oh, she's gonna get beat.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Verbally beat though.
Verbal lashing. A tongue lashing, if you will.
Not that one of those.
Yeah.
We'll be getting that for a while.
But
No. Are we?
very orally giving.
And now.
If you want to play that music bed, you can, but Mach filled out next gen to where that studio timer, that's when we'll be back.
That.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play this just in case.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Did you get Greg and Amy? Let me. Sure.
Bird.
The following broadcast is not for the mocha soy latte drinking, tree hugging, Birkenstock wearing crowd.
I'm not giving you a compliment.
If you tuned in by accident, get the out of here now before all the beer drinking, whiskey shooting hellraisers find out. This is the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Because I love my country so much, I'm going to retain. This is just something that just happened in the, 8 minutes we've been gone. I guess we've been having some technical difficulties or something like that, but hopefully we're getting our whole act together. I mean, we got off to a rough start, Lummy, and we're continuing that rough start journey. So hopefully everything's synced up. Hopefully you can hear me, you can see me, you can consume me, hopefully. But back to my original thought during the off mic. Well, we were not synced up. I think the network might not have been synced up with our computer, and so I had to play this music, this royalty-free background music to make sure that indeed if somebody was picking up the feed that it wasn't dead air, they were at least getting some music, knowing that the network will be rejoining soon. And so we're listening to this music. And, Brian, I'd like to retain you because I love my country and have you send a letter to the Secretary of Defense suggesting that if you'd like to torture human beings, in a good way, just put that on loop and put them in a cage for 2 days, and they will tell you anything you want to hear. That was the worst music ever.
I don't think it's the worst. Anna loves it, by the way. She actually put her headphones on so she could hear it closer.
It was driving me insane. I would completely get this.
I love that. It's very relaxing.
Snapping going on there.
A little zen.
Whatever. To me, man, it was pure torture. I was starting to lose my mind.
It's so funny how different you and Anna are as human beings.
Yeah,
it's you couldn't be any more different.
Big, small.
She loved this.
Smart.
She loved this.
And it actually helped me calm down some.
See? Me and Macho are very similar.
I liked it for the first 2 minutes of it. But then as you can tell that it's just a continual loop. Somebody's made 40
it's the birds. I like the birds.
It's probably only about 40 to 40 seconds to 58 seconds to a minute and 20 long, but then they loop it. They just seamlessly edit so it reloops itself. So it's the worst. Listen to this. Oh, yeah. At first, it's snappy and it puts you in a good mood. But just listen to it nonstop for about 30 seconds and it'll drive you insane. Let me just show you.
Where's all the dancing bananas?
No. So imagine, yes, it's good now. But putting that on a continuous loop and just making a guy listen to that nonstop.
Well, they did that with Metallica actually in Guantanamo and a few other places to drive the prisoners insane.
No, for real.
Blared it at high levels.
Yeah.
Heavy metal music.
It wasn't torture. It was enhanced interrogation, Brian. God.
Enhanced interrogation.
What a racket that was, right?
Yeah. How do we get around the Geneva Convention?
You do it not in your country.
Just call it enhanced interrogation.
You pay other people to do that stuff for you.
Honestly, I think the first thing is you start and stop with you're not doing it in your country. Well, we're in Guantanamo Bay. It's not even technically. I know you're going to try to get us on a technicality, say that it's part of our territories, and we but
it's in Cuba.
It's in Cuba.
At the end of the day,
slice of Cuba we somehow have.
Right. And that's what you tell them. Hey, listen, it's Cuba, and it's like a little slice that somehow we got. I can't explain it, but it's ours. But it's not part of America. We're not on American soil. We're on Cuba soil. These acts of barbaric torture to prisoners they're not on U.S. soil, so you can't get mad at us.
If there was a cabinet position that I could create and put one person who would be absolutely perfect for it, I would create Secretary of Torture, and Bubba would be in charge.
No, he's already Secretary of the Common American. We discussed this yesterday.
You didn't hear the show yesterday?
I missed it.
We came up with a new position, oddly enough. it goes right along the lines of if you were able to create a make-believe position on the president's cabinet.
Oh, really? This was a thing?
Yeah, no matter what president it is that they would appoint, I would be on the president's cabinet, and I'd be the secretary of the common American. See, no, we don't want to put man, because I want to represent all of them. Like, I represent the common person of America.
Well, technically it was average American, but are we switching it to?
Sure.
Okay.
So, and then, Brian, we went through the last two presidents and being the and like you can't get fired. Like, you know what I'm saying, Brian? Like, just if you tell the president what he is and wasn't what.
Oh, you're like a Supreme Court justice.
Yeah, it's not a real cabinet position.
Well, no, but I mean, like, this
is all made up.
Brian, first of all, we're telling a story. We're in the entertainment business.
My bad.
Okay, so.
I forget sometimes.
Just think about it. So, I mean, like, that's what we need, though. That's what we need.
Torture?
Is we need somebody representing the common American that can burn a timeout and tell these leaders how the average American probably feels about this particular situation. And regardless of your ego or your what you think, this is that. Now, listen, I can't make law, but my voice can be heard while you're making some of your big decisions. You probably need to try to figure out what the average American, instead of pandering to your base, right? Because most presidents make a lot of their decisions. Brian, would you not agree on pandering of their base and constituents, right?
Yeah, who's giving them money?
Right.
Yeah.
So we did two scenarios, Brian. One, if I was on a cabinet meeting with Trump, and I would raise my hand and say, "Hey, Mr. President, brother, you need to chill out on the Twitter. Like, for real, I'm just telling you what the average American's thinking, but you really come across as a very much of a dick on Twitter. And if you're going to fire people and do some of this stuff that's real presidential, that maybe you shouldn't do it on Twitter, okay, buddy? Do some of that stuff. Be more presidential in some of your meltdowns, okay? You're just really, and you know what? Don't pick on Joe. Let Joe flame himself out, okay? Like, Brian, we were talking about the two debates. If all Trump, I know you may not agree with me politically, but I think you might agree on this part, and that is, if Trump he was a bully, he kept interrupting Joe Biden. He would even my mom, who's a Trump supporter, was like, I didn't like the feel and vibe that the bullying of how Trump treated, especially the second one. So, but if somebody would have gone to Donald and said, Donald, instead of attacking Joe, lay back, let Joe flame himself out because he's going to get lost in the weeds. You know he is.
How do you know that somebody didn't, though, and he didn't just fire that person because that's not what he wants to hear?
But hold on, hear me out. Don't you understand the job I have? I am the secretary of the common American.
And the reason why you'd be such a good fit for that is because you share a lot of the characteristics that are uniquely American.
Right.
You are white, middle-aged.
Yep.
Maybe a little overweight.
Yeah.
You love pills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That sort of thing. Maybe you watch a little Fox, a little CNN. You kind of like mix it up.
Sure.
Yeah, you got all those characteristics.
I own my own.
You like pickleball?
I own my
own. He knows how to change an oil. Change his own oil.
Hey, listen, I own my own small business.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. I own a racetrack.
Got a laboratory.
Brian, just to continue my manliness, I know how to run a grader and heavy equipment. Right, so I'm representing those dudes, right?
Right.
I'm representing people who have small businesses.
You're
right?
a divorcee.
I'm representing people that have been divorced. I'm representing people.
You have a kid.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So
single.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine, Brian, if the guy could have stood up and said, I mean, that guy of comment if I'm on the cabinet of the president, and I'm an official. Your position's not, usually the cabinet is who the president picks, and that's it. The government doesn't get to put one person in there as an oversight. Although I think that is a good position. Don't you think that Congress and the House come together, Brian, and put a person in there in the presidential cabinet just as the kind of their watchdog kind of deal? That'd be kind of cool. I'd go for that, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
So if that person was able to stand up and tell Donald Trump that, how much better would things have worked out? If they would have said, Donald, just chill out. chill out on the Twitter and chill out on just chill, and he would have chilled. Or in the current president, you raise your hand, be like, hey, listen, guys, I know we have big pharma in our back pocket, and I know that we were, I don't know.
Big fan, by the way. Big fan.
By the way, listen, guys, there's not a person on this.
I'm a big fan of pharma groupie, so I'm just coming from that standpoint.
Listen, all you men and women of Mr. Biden's council, you guys have to understand. We're all just a bunch of bought and paid for bitches when it comes to big pharma here. Mm-hmm. So let's not any one of us.
I try pills with my mom sometimes.
Let's not any one of us think that we're holier than thou. We've all taken big pharma money to get where we are today. Okay. They're like, yeah. So let's get with Big Pharma and have them come up with some type of, booty juice that we can give Joe every day. Just some like a shot he takes every day. Yeah. So it's not like pills sometimes take two. Sometimes you don't know the effectiveness of pills because pills you have to take them, then they have to go sit in your gut, and then they have to dissolve all up.
Oftentimes they don't take. It takes weeks, especially if it's anything psychological. Yeah. Maybe even weeks to see the effects.
Even like if you're on like an antibiotic, the doctor, you don't take the antibiotic on day one, and it's a 5-day, 6-day process to go through the whole medication. Well, we don't got time. We don't have 7 days for Joe's first psychological pill to get in his. We don't have time for Joe's digestive system, which is probably as slow as he is, to dispatch any type of medicine we come up with. But we need to come up with a daily shot that we give our president that just, come on, Big Pharma. Give me a shot that just really makes him sharp and just physically more mobile. Now, it may wear down by the end of the day, and we figure out what that window is, and we got to start wrapping Joe's meetings up around 3:30, 4 o'clock before the oatmeal and the poop my pants.
Sounds like you, actually.
He doesn't poop his pants. He poops in the shower.
No, I meant wrapping up the meetings around 3 o'clock. Otherwise,
sorry about
it's
that.
fuzzy time.
So anyway,
T-shirt will 25 on the cash app.
Anyway, Brian, that I pointed myself as the common man, American, and don't you think that's exactly what we need in our country?
Yes, we do.
Yep,
we do. We really
you're
do.
You're from Middle America,
Not me, but just a regular dude.
Incestuous tendencies.
AOL account.
It would stand.
Not great with technology.
FTE Greg, 50 on the cash app.
Doesn't like to listen. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, a short attention span.
AOL account. Doesn't like to listen.
Incestuous tendencies.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Average IQ.
Above average, 109.
Above average.
I have been through an IQ test with a psychologist. Like I went through a real IQ test.
Did you get like a 120, 130?
No, I was 109.
Oh, nice.
I was 109. Like, and this isn't like one that I took online or anything. Like this was administered by psychology, by a doctor of psychology.
Why did you get it done? Like just for show content?
No, because
he was trying to get Social Security disability, like B-Fud.
God damn it, I'm normal.
He's like, wait a minute, I can get free money just for being a 62.
See, sometimes child custody battles get very contentious.
Oh.
And that's.
See if it happens.
So
hold on.
Wait, your ex accused you of not being mentally competent to care for a child?
Yes.
I mean, IQ isn't.
Because hold on, Brian. Hold on. But let me just hold on. You're going to even feel more sorry for me or more pathetic for the court system. The court system allowed Brian. Let's not forget the court system allowed this. Let's also not forget who my attorney was, so that this is not but the great Nancy Harris. So I had at that time, Regina Hunter's the it factor now, but prior to Gina, before Gina got on the scene, man, if you're a male, an athlete, Ron Diaz, like whatever, the hotshot female attorney prior to Gina was a woman, and she still practices. His name's Nancy Harris. Like am I not right, Brian?
Yep.
Like she was the it. So, Brian, all this stuff that I had to do, she was raising hell in the court saying, are you kidding me? Like she would file an objection. Jenna's side would because.
Genocide?
Jenna's side. I heard genocide too.
Cliff. Might as well have been.
I'm just going to Cliff Curry That's all I gotta say. Cliff Curry would say, would draft these papers up saying, Mr. Clem is not, they had me never getting to see the kid ever. And anytime I wanted to see the kid, I had to have a supervised visit. So because of my...
Little did they know that they just had to wait a few years.
Okay. The roast is on the 22nd.
Sorry.
Bubba was trying to tell a story, Brian.
I'm sorry. That was cheap heat. I apologize. I'll give myself a timeout. I'll just mute my mic.
Let me tell my story before squirreling me with something that makes me look stupid.
It doesn't make you look stupid. You didn't do anything wrong, but it's okay.
But it very much messed with my flow. I was headed somewhere. Then you know what he just did? I was fleeing from the cops and I was getting away, and he just threw the stop sticks on me.
Yep.
Now all 4 of my tires are flat, and
you're still trying to gas it up.
But have you ever seen that criminal where all 4 tires are flat, rather than to responsibly pull over, knowing that he's going to be on rim next, and then he's going to be on glowing rim, and then he's going to be on, it gets
fire.
so hot that it catches on fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I've seen the getaway guys, you literally drive their wheels so that the car catches on fire.
Is there anything more fun in this world to watch than a police chase?
Oh,
honestly,
no.
and don't you find yourself cheering for the underdog?
No, not really.
I mean, I'm always like,
Yeah.
can he shake him? Can he shake him?
But you can't. But by the time it develops into a police chase where the media is covering it,
Got a helicopter
the helicopter's
on it,
up,
yeah.
and you know, Brian, you can never flee a helicopter.
There was a guy in Miami who did. I saw one the other day. He got away
from the helicopter.
Yep.
Okay.
I
Yep.
saw one in Arizona, but he just killed himself.
Well,
so.
there was another one. Guy was super smart. Realized the helicopter was following him. Went to the busiest mall in town. Went into the parking garage. They didn't know what he looked like. Left the car. They never found him.
No way.
Brilliant.
Yep. Brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. So anyway.
Wow.
I don't know where I was headed.
I'm
Jesus,
sorry.
what
Okay,
was I-
so we were talking about you having to take an IQ test. Cliff Curry,
Right.
you got genocided.
So they would come up with these things like, Cliff Curry would draw these papers up saying that Mr. Clem should have 0 visitation based on, have you heard his radio? Like they brought my radio show character and what I do for a living. They were able to introduce that into as to how I could potentially be a father. And so at that point, I had to prove that I'm not the radio character, and that
which was a dumb guy, so you had to prove that you were.
No, but interviewing strippers, having girls pee in coffee cans, that's probably
Honestly, that seems more relevant than like your IQ.
No, so they get through the court. Now, see, Brian, when you think about when I have to do these things, there's all procedurally they had to go to the court because Nancy wasn't laying down and agreeing to any of this. Nancy was like, no, our starting point's 50%. That's where we're starting. Let's talk about your client. Let's talk
Strip
about
a hoe.
No, don't be saying that.
Oh,
still Tyler's mother.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Have some respect.
Oh,
yeah, please. I mean,
just hit myself.
So anyway, Brian, each one of these had to be granted by a judge. A judge had to say, yes, Mr. Clem needs to have an IQ test because we feel that he's the same character. He could be on the air as he is off, or off the air as he is on. So yes, and they even did this. Listen to this, man. Dr. Krongold. I'll never forget the names. So Brian, I have to take a test, an IQ, a written, verbal interaction. They ask you questions, you answer them back. Written part of it, like it was a very extensive IQ test, and we both had to take them. So Nancy was like, "Okay, you guys want to talk about IQ tests? Great, we'd love to do one. Your client has to do one too."
Oh, what was hers?
I can't. I'm not gonna. That could be a HIPAA violation. But let's just.
Well, not really.
What can you say? What it's lower than?
You're not a medical provider. It is not a HIPAA violation.
Yeah, what Brian said.
People don't understand HIPAA and the way it works.
I'll give you a range. No, I'll just tell
less than 100.
95.
I'll give you a range. It's 95.
I mean, she did
95.
That's not
95.
Yep.
So, Lummy, maybe if you could send me the.
100 is average. Right?
Well, I'm just saying. I was 109. She was 95.
I got a parody to Dolly Parton's 9 to 5. She's 95.
That might be something you open up for the roast.
That's awesome.
Got pregnant to make a living.
I don't. No.
I like it.
Let's not, because I don't want to fight that off air.
No, I get it, but it would be. It's a great one.
It's a great one that'll never be done. Okay.
Score range.
You did?
Yep.
All right, hold on here. Here we go. Let me see. Boom. Boom. And then we go boom. So,
she's right in the same bracket as you.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Brian, you're
Average.
right. But if the court, Your Honor, you know that family court's not jury, it's Your Honor. Like, Your Honor makes the decision, right?
Yes, a judge.
Yeah, but the judge makes a decision. You don't have a jury. So when the judge looks at that and they're saying, well, you think Mr. Clem, is a knuckle dragon, wanting to see strippers, the guy on the radio so if we're just going to fundamentally peel back the onion to the core of who's the smarter adult, right? And smarter adults probably make better decisions than, I'm just saying, right? Smart people usually make better decisions than.
Not always, but yes, I see where you're going with
on
it.
an average, on the whole, yes, you are absolutely right.
So the judge looks at me and I'm 109, which, by the way, Lummy, I've never seen this range, so I didn't arbitrarily just come up with 109 because it puts me on the high end of that.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I can show you. I have an actual documentation, court document stating what my. In that case, if you were to look up that case it's all public record. If you'd look up that case in the Pinellas County court system.
And by the way, 14 points is nothing to sneeze at. Like that's a big difference.
Yeah, that's a pretty big gap. I mean, 14 points is difference, between high average and gifted and advanced. All right, well,
that's significant.
The outcome was Mr. Clem gets 50%.
That's awesome.
I mean, as much as they were trying to use the court system to make me jump through a whole bunch of unnecessary hoops, trying to prove that I was a bad guy because of the guy they heard on the radio. Realistically, the statistics and the judicial system wasn't swayed by that, and they made the right. I mean, I guess it never went to a judge. We settled it on the mediation the week before the trial was supposed to happen, Brian. We settled a week before mediation.
That happens a lot.
And we got everything we wanted. We got 50%. Blah, blah, blah. We got everything.
Well, you were dealing with a 95, so it was easy to bamboozle her.
Let's move.
Now I can't not say that.
Let's just move.
She's a 95, getting pregnant to make a living.
It's pretty good.
I'm telling you right now.
Wow.
Stop.
Sorry.
Stop.
Brian, stop.
Because you know what? Because you know what?
Heat.
This is going to cause heat, and it could be heat that ends up on your desk. Because if you're the one, I got several attorneys to choose from, and I got to tell you, if the one attorney got me in trouble with the lawsuit that I'm being delivered, bitch, you can bet you're the one that's going to represent me on that for free.
I mean, that's a given.
Yeah, it's true. I'm trying to act like that's not always.
like if you've ever paid me a cent to represent you.
Although I did walk in last week and offer you some money, did I not?
You did, but then I said, no, buddy, I'm not. Your money's no good here.
Oh, I did. I got a situation I need Brian to look at.
I don't really have any.
I got a situation I might have to pay Brian.
He's like, good, because I had no idea where I was going to get that money from. What's your rate these days? $15 an hour?
I offered you what I have saved in cash.
$8.73.
No, I'm not. Let's not.
Sorry, I'm teasing.
Let's just not get into. We're getting in. I
don't even know what was offered. Quite honestly, you didn't actually offer me a figure.
Oh, I had a figure written down.
You had you were going to slide it across the table?
I had a figure in my head. I talked to the merch critic before I went over there, and I said, I'm going to offer Brian this much if he'll handle this, if this ends up being a thing. And she's like, yeah, that's all I got, So she didn't really.
You were going to give me your life savings.
Oh, Jesus.
Babyface. I'm willing to give you my life savings if you'll help me out with this legal gimmick thing.
It's not even that big a deal.
It's not even.
It's just he slides you a backpack.
I really, honest to God, Brian, if you were to be I really need to hire a forensic accountant is what I really need to hire.
I opened up the paper and there's 2 Longhorn gift cards.
Wait a second. I'm getting an idea.
Compelling and compassionate?
No, wait.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, no.
More of the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
key to the smart car. Generator.
Oh, the cream machine's back.
Yeah, that'd be parked in Hunter Law the next day. Cause,
I'd get that. We'd get that thing wrapped. I put more lights on.
Oh, you know what would be badass is you guys would get it wrapped and be able to really use it and get some good press for it. Hunter Law goes to the playgrounds and hands out free ice cream. Hunter Law.
Backpacks for school out of the cream machine.
Mm-hmm.
We would have to change the name from the cream machine.
No, the Gina machine. It's the Gina machine. You must not like that one.
It's pronounced Gina.
China. What
China.
is that from?
40-year-old version.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, Gina. It's pronounced Gina.
That was a great movie.
That was a great
That was a
movie.
fucking amazing movie.
The bitch's tit pops out. She was a professional wrestler's wife, that lady. Who's was sitting there and her nipple falls out or whatever it is. Yeah.
It's funny, I remember like
Phenomenal breasts.
Seth Rogen looks the same age as he, like 22 as he is like 44.
Yeah. Yeah. And Seth Rogen, his voice too. It's like just the quintessential stoner. Yeah.
His laugh.
Yeah. It sounds forced and
Who you guys
fake.
talking about?
Seth Rogen. Not Joe Rogan.
Not Seth Kushner.
Not Seth Kushner.
Seth Rogen.
Although
Oh, are you coming back with the net
he
thing?
may be kind of a combination of Seth Rogen
Yeah.
and Seth and
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah.
There you go, guys.
What are we coming back with?
Talk.
Oh.
That's why we went to break early the first time. And then we had to mess
Well, it's
up.
good. We want to save this for now that we got people watching us. Now that everybody's awake and alive and kicking.
Oh, there we go.
We're up on all our platforms, including Bar. Just hit refresh, guys, if you didn't know.
What time of day is not technically-
You obviously didn't watch last week's show, Brian Service, because last week's show was even funnier than this week's show.
US runs one time of day from Cuba.
Yeah, we know that.
You said you didn't know how you got it.
What?
You said you didn't know how America got that strip of land.
It was part of like the settlement agreement, right?
Like in 1898, there's a bad storm, so the Americans landed there.
And just kept it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Just never left?
No, well, it was technically, that happened during the Spanish-American War, but it wasn't part of the settlement. It was just like, yeah, we're just gonna keep this strip.
Yeah, but I mean, that's how wars end. It's like, yeah, you guys can stay there. I mean, otherwise you keep
But
warring.
technically, they had to rent it. They forced the.
We pay them money?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's the rent? What's the rent
That was
on
Brian's,
Guantanamo
like,
Bay these
well,
days?
I changed,
Is it
okay.
keep going up and
I
down?
changed-
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you know, what's the rent in Guantanamo Bay?
You got me close.
Okay, I'll just leave it then. That was what I was worried about this morning coming in, is that processor was just swapping out, might have changed
Yeah,
stuff, and then all of a sudden.
yeah, the Cold War, the Cuban Missile Crisis, and all
Well,
that shit.
yeah, because I think the one that Dan was, you said Dan was going up and down, he kept saying he was changing his level. I think the input on that was messed up.
Yeah.
So
It's all good.
that's what's swapped out.
I love everybody. You
Thank you, Macho Man.
Can you make a guess what it is? Anywhere enter demo?
I'm gonna say we pay them $20 million a year.
Every year, to rent the land for Guantanamo base, part of the agreement with Cuba, 1901, blah, blah, $4,085.
That's they never raised the rent. This is a rent-controlled military encampment. $4,080.
$4,085.
Wow.
Is that how much we pay him?
A year.
It's expensive to get like an apartment in downtown St.
Yeah,
Pete.
yeah.
Right?
I was gonna say, how many bedrooms and baths is Guantanamo?
And that's for an entire island, isn't it?
Well, it's 45 square mile naval base at Guantanamo Bay.
How many miles?
45 square.
Mile.
Do you know how fucking
That's
big?
huge.
Do you know how fucking big that's the size of Hillsborough County.
That's massive.
Yeah.
And we pay $4,000 a year rent for
Yeah,
it.
that's the best deal in the history of mankind.
And it includes sewage and water in that
Again,
rent, right?
that is, hold on, that might be, whoever cut that deal, we need to find that motherfucker, because that's the best deal in the history of the
Well,
world.
it's 1901. So it would have been the Roosevelt administration?
I don't know, but can you imagine they go to Cuba and say, okay, we're going to fucking take 45 square miles. And I doubt if it was even $4,000 back then. It might have been like, it has an escalator or something on it.
We paid them less than $1 million. No, that's what it was, and there was no escalator. Even back then, $4,000 was nothing.
A year.
Yeah.
A year. So what is that a month?
I mean, less than $400 a month.
Wait, that was a year, not a month?
Yeah.
This is every year the United States.
Oh,
So $440.
A year?
It's a year.
Oh my god.
440 bucks a
I'm
month.
moving to Gitmo.
Yeah.
Yeah. America pays Cuba $440 a month.
Are you
read up my thing. This is what it says.
Whoever cut that deal is deal cutter of the world.
Gitmo Naval Base, $4,085.
$4,085.
And Castro was not cashing the checks in protest.
What a dumb motherfucker.
What a dumb protest.
What was he doing?
He didn't cash the checks in protest.
I'm going to ruin their bank account. They won't be able to balance their checkbook.
What an idiot! like that, like we give a fuck about that, right?
Congratulations. There's no remorse and no regret associated with anything they do.
You are refreshingly vulgar.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
Man, the Bubba the Love Sponge show. Hello.
Hello.
We got Brian the Babyface Matroni in. Well, I think he's pretty much going to be a fixture on Thursdays.
I won't be able to do the 21st, Bubba. I know you're talking about an afternoon show, but I can't make it now.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know now.
Okay,
officially
buddy.
On the
okay.
air.
All right, buddy. But you and I have sat down and mapped out your schedule, and you're here more than you're not here from now to the end of the year.
Well, I'm not here next week either.
Oh, you're not?
No, so I'm pretty much not here at all till the.
Oh, so you're done.
See you next year.
Man, it's me just being very uninformed and just trying to be a mark for Babyface, trying to put him over a little bit. And
the only real morning show I'm missing is next week's.
All right, so let me see here. Today's the 7th. No, Brian. Well, but see, no, because you said you're not available on the 21st. So
well, but that's not a morning show. That's just a mid-afternoon deal that you were doing.
And then I have a no Brian on the 4th of January.
Yeah, who even works that week,
buddy? We're just
we do.
We're just look, man. You're really. I mean, you're done. You're literally done until January 11th.
I might be actually the 4th. I think I'm.
Nah, don't
No.
Don't stress yourself out.
No, it's not stress out.
You.
I'm back on the 3rd, I think, or the 2nd or 3rd. So I think I can do the 4th.
Okay. But don't let it disrupt your family life or nothing like that.
I would never. But
otherwise, we will see you on. Man, listen to how far this sounds. Thursday, January 11th.
It's less than a month away.
Which, by the way, is the Thursday. It's the Thursday of BARP.
Yeah,
a month away.
Wait, did you say you're not coming to BARP
I won't
for some
be there.
reason?
Yeah,
You're not coming to BARP either.
Why? What's the reason?
We have our family Christmas up in Connecticut that we do Martin Luther King weekend.
Hey, Anna, you may not have maybe statistically.
I have a dream Christmas.
Hey, maybe Anna,
you
think you're the most hated, but man, not only.
I'm grateful for Brian.
Yeah, you're here every day. At least you're here every day, and you try. Anyway,
I do try. I'm just not here.
Try to be a dick.
Yep.
So
I'm succeeding.
Now it looks like the next time. Listen to how far this sounds. The next time Brian the Babyface Matroni will be on the show on his infamous double whap Thursdays, because you usually stick around and do the after show, right?
Right.
Now, can you do that today or no?
Yep.
Perfect.
And I can make the 4th and I can make the 11th. It's not a problem.
No, hold on. How all of a sudden?
I can't. I leave the 12th.
Oh, okay. So you can make see. So now, are you positive about that? Because I don't want to put it in my count, because I live and die by this calendar.
Yes.
So okay, I'm putting Brian. I always then I circle it, and then I'm put Brian, because I got people. I got Seth starting, I think, soon. So on days that you can't be here, I would have Seth be in here, to fill that deal.
Well, I mean, I don't want to take his time. I mean,
no, his time. He's going to be in on Wednesdays.
Oh.
And on days that you can't make it, he'll come in on Thursdays as well. On days that you do make it, my first Thursday priority is you. He's only backup on Thursdays if you can't. See, look how much I like you.
You do. You like me. You
I do
really
like
me.
So like when I was cutting a deal with Seth, and you know what it's like to negotiate with Seth. Oh my God, Jesus! Like Seth, calm down.
He's a good negotiator.
No, he's just so worried about money. I'm like, man, just chill out. The money will be there. I got you some incentives with regards to the podcasting element.
Lindsay Funk, 35, Venmo.
Every one of my employees here has an incentive based on a side project that they're doing. Lemmy, would you not agree to that?
Yes, Michael Mayer, 25 on the Venmo.
Thank you so much to all that. Hold on. Brian, listen to this. Everybody that's on the air full-time, with the exception of Dan, has an additional duty they do here at the BRN that is incentive-lated, meaning they get incentives based on, based on things perform well or something like that. So I don't even know that people know that. That's how cool I am. Oh, so sorry. So we were going with the most hated and the most liked. Oh, I'm sorry. We were going with the most liked.
Right. We were trying to keep it positive.
So I was coming up with a list. This was an hour ago. We're like, man, Lummy's the most liked person ever on the show. Look at Lummy over there with that belt, just 4 different monitors, standing by, looking at all types of charts and algorithms and shouting out. Basically, you're the union rep for chat. So,
yes.
you just and Lummy, we need to make like a kind of like an amendment or something like that, saying that like you are the union. You represent. You are chat. You're the chat god.
I'm the chat god. I'm the union rep for the chat and the fans.
No, you're the chat god.
Chat god.
And any disputes that happen within chat, I have to take a second. I have to step back and you settle all chat, disputes.
Perfect.
Because sometimes they get in there at each other sometimes. But I guess we have moderators for that, right?
Yeah, we do.
But anyway. You're the god. You're the god of chat. All right, buddy.
Okay.
So
no, that's a challenge for our parody guys to do chat god for Lummy. Good luck with that one.
Oh, the Eminem song.
One, yeah.
And I will not be playing any of the other potential song suggestions that you two numbnuts made earlier today. We have to please. Let's not go any further in that. Okay. No more doubt. Stop.
Yes, sir.
I already got a text on the deal.
Oh, really?
No. Everybody listen.
That was fast.
Everybody, there's a lot of people listening to this program by whatever means. I can't even really get into the hot mic stuff we were talking about.
No.
I'd love to, but that was a segment in itself. So I'm already 2 segments behind. I got to clear out the most liked person in the history of the show, and then I felt that would roll into the most hated. If you're going to go with the most liked, you have to go with the most hated.
Of course.
And then we got to talk about the UNLV college shoot. There was a shooting on the UNLV campus yesterday. Left 3 faculty members dead, and then the bad guy,
the running rebel,
him dead as well. What were we talking about during hot mic? And
Guantanamo Bay.
Oh yeah, Guantanamo Bay.
Gitmo.
Let me just write this down on my notes because I want to get to that.
And we have a guest at 9:15.
Because I don't.
Well, who's a guest? Is it a big guest?
The Moonshine Bandits.
Oh. On a Thursday, really? Can't we move that to Friday?
We have a guest tomorrow too.
Oh. Who's that?
Yeah.
Bubba can say if he wants.
No, you can.
Oh, Bill O'Reilly.
Well, that's pretty good.
Oh, Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah,
awesome.
Bill O'Reilly for not like just the 10-minute, media junket deal because I'm promoting my new book, but we really got him set aside for like 20 minutes where we can just.
Nice.
We're not part of a media junket where there is 10 stations behind us and there's 15 stations ahead of us.
Yeah,
Bill's picking up the phone and calling us just to call us.
Him and Chris Cuomo have formed a tag team now.
What do you mean?
They're on with each other constantly. Cuomo has his own show now, and him and O'Reilly mix it up together frequently.
Kind of like
Interesting duo.
Kind of like a back in the day crossfire with Tucker Carlson and James Carville. Do you remember that Crossfire?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. When
that was
the best episode ever was when Jon Stewart completely dressed them down and owned them.
But you're right. But wasn't it?
It was Tucker and that
James Carville.
No, it was
James Carville.
Real quick, it was
Crossfire.
No, it was the B guy. It's Paul Begalia or whatever it was. That's
Hey Alexa, who are the hosts of Crossfire?
The hosts of the show Crossfire are James Carville and Tucker Carlson.
There was also the Paul guy. You faced me.
Let me.
Yep.
Tell him.
Faced you.
Faced. You just got rejected. I swatted you. I just swatted you, man. I just posterized you, bitch.
There was another one, though. Paul Begalia.
No, there was not another one. She would have said there was. Paul Delgado was doing weather in Birmingham, Alabama at the time. Try to bring him in.
Oh,
okay. So, we got to bring up the Guantanamo Bay because we were talking about that during the hot mic deal, and that just goes to show you have to somehow be able whatever hoop you need to do to be able to listen to hot mic during the commercials. It's a microcosm of a world in itself, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Paul Begalia was a host too.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's there. I respect you on the Carville thing, but Paul Begalia was represented for the left as well.
On this hill.
Bitch, not full time, not all the time.
Okay.
No,
It's
it was Tucker. And it was James Carville. That's who everybody. That's what Alexa said. Don't get me on a technicality. Let me move on, bitch.
Like Carvel cakes.
Let me move on, numb nuts.
Yes, sir.
So we were during the hot mic, which you just got to make sure you listen to the hot mic because we're so dirty and cynical and just say stuff we're not supposed to be saying. Even though we should realize that nearly 2/3, Lummy, of our audience listens to hot mic.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So we were talking about the Guantanamo Bay, how we
enhanced interrogation.
Yes, don't use the T word.
Us, such as U.S. Americans who need maps, such as U.S. Americans. I don't know that the average U.S. Americans knows that what the deal, so to speak, with Guantanamo Bay. I think the average U.S. Americans think that we either have to rent it from Cuba or pay a whole bunch of money for it, or we took it over in an excursion, or just like how do we get some sliver of Guantanamo Bay? Why? How does Cuba,
especially like to keep it during the Cold War and the Cuban Missile Crisis?
Yeah, I mean there have been times like Cuba's like, man, the last thing that America needs to own is Guantanamo Bay, being this. We don't want them this close. I mean they're literally just an island away from the mainland. Wow. And we don't know who cut this deal, but the deal was cut in 1901.
Well, technically, it was finalized in 1903.
1903.
And it's a permanent lease between Cuba and America.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and so didn't we find out that the current lease price for what we pay Cuba to have a presence on a 45 by 45 mile military base? One would think that, Brian, just off the hot, you'd be like, man, that probably costs, 50, 60 million a year.
Big.
Right?
I'm going to send you a map so you can kind of see where it's located.
Oh, my God, 45 miles?
It was Theodore Roosevelt. He cut the deal.
Teddy, man. Teddy was a man's man. Teddy didn't mess around.
I sent you a map.
He's a rough rider.
Let me tell you something.
With a big stick.
Teddy got shot in Milwaukee. And by
a Packers fan?
No.
Oh.
Teddy got shot in Milwaukee, stood up, did the speech. Seriously,
I believe you.
Lummy, maybe you can Google it for me. But okay, so here's it. This is.
Ooh, they got a McDonald's on base. You should do a food review there.
There you go.
Let's see. Okay.
So this is Cuba. This is all of Cuba. And Guantanamo Bay
is in gray. That box
is right down here.
Here's the thing.
All of that is the detention center.
And it's not even like a little island that's like, 10 or 15 miles off the coast like the Bahamas kind of. This is part of their mainland. This would
Cuba
be like
proper, yeah.
This would be like Panama City of Florida.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so Cuba that's where we have a lease of infinity, and so you'd say, okay, man, they're gonna just absolutely, this is gonna be prime real estate, not only strategically, but like it's a way for us to keep an eye on Cuba, who at that time was being was communist. Is it still communist?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so anyway, this is awesome. So how much do you need, Cuba? How much? And the current price of the lease for Guantanamo Bay is like $4,100 a year.
Yeah, they increased it in 1974 with the increase of the price of gold to $4,085.
So it's $4,100, not a month, which is still like whatever. It's like it's $4,100 for the year, and that's
hilarious.
Who the hell from Cuba cut that deal? What an idiot!
Jose M. Garcia Montez.
Yeah, they should take him out back and done some stuff to
he's
him.
Dead probably now.
Oh, definitely. Probably. The dude's 175 years old.
And who's the person on the American side that cut that deal? Like
Teddy's administration.
Hell yeah, Teddy. Let me look up. Did Teddy?
He got shot in Milwaukee.
I will read the stats. Tell everybody what happened.
He was campaigning in Milwaukee when Shrinks.
Who was?
Teddy Roosevelt.
So Teddy Roosevelt was campaigning in Milwaukee. See, let me, part of being a huge superstar is every time I throw it over, I can throw it over to you, and you go long form on us and discuss, kind of give us a little explanation as to what we're talking about. You're not just a little chimer in there, Stockholm Willie, okay? Okay, cool. So, we were talking about Teddy Roosevelt earlier, and I said I thought that he got shot in Milwaukee.
Yes, he did.
And you were going to look that up for me. What do you got on that, buddy?
On October 14th, 1912, former saloon keeper John Schrank attempted to assassinate former U.S. President Teddy Roosevelt while he was campaigning for the presidency in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Schrank shot him, tried to shoot him through the heart. It hit his steel eyeglass case, passed through 50 pages of a single-folded copy of his speech, and it kind of just like barely inserted into him.
So Brian, he had his glasses, when he holds his glasses in, and then he had this 50-page wadded up speech right there, behind his suit and his breast, his breast deal. And the bullet, was it a 22? It didn't say what caliber, right?
It did not say.
But it went through the paper, went through the eyeglass deal, and just kind of superficially lodged itself into his chest, right?
Yes.
Which caused him to bleed, but it didn't go in. It was just like somebody shot you with a BB gun or something. And
kind of.
And does it say that he went on and delivered the speech?
Yes.
So, Brian, as he unfolds his speech, he's got a hole in it, right? What a pimp. Go ahead, take it out. Tell us the details.
Pretty much, he got upset he was shot and that he was going to deliver his speech.
I mean, now that's when men were men, right there, right?
Yeah, he said it would take
Brian,
more.
all these politicians are a bunch of pussies compared to how they were back then.
I mean, he literally got shot on the campaign while campaigning.
Got shot, got up and said, "I'm not going to let this I'm going to deliver my speech."
Which was about 2 to 3 hours, it said.
Yeah, he spoke for 2 to 3 hours. Then it said, didn't he go to the hospital?
He went after, they got an x-ray, and then he just said to leave it in place because it might be worse to take it out.
Yeah.
So he had the bullet there the whole time.
So left it there. Teddy Roosevelt had a bullet in his left side that he got in Milwaukee. Can you imagine? Some guy shoots you. You get up. Hold on. So you're getting ready to get on stage in Milwaukee. I'm sorry. I'm just looking for a single. I don't think this type of gunshot survivable. I mean, I can't even get. Can you even count this? I mean, that's what is that? 40, probably 30. I mean, that's called getting riddled right there. That's the difference between a guy that wants to kill the president versus like the mob. This is how the mob kills you. And then the other dude just a single shot Willie. So you get shot. It kind of knocks you back a little bit. If I remember the report, it said that he was bleeding.
Oh, he was.
He was bleeding. He was actually bleeding. You could see blood coming from his shirt. and he gets up and says, "That's not going to stop me from giving a speech." Then he gets his speech out. Now,
I sent you a picture of his shirt.
The speech had to have a hole in it.
It did.
Didn't it?
Yeah.
So you unfold. Oh my God!
I would love a copy of that speech with the bullet hole right through it.
Brian, this isn't
Oh my
like
God!
Wow, that was
It's 2 bullet holes.
I mean, there's one.
I got the picture of the speech.
Oh, hold on, Brian. Look. Now this is
well, it was folded up, so that's why it's 2 bullet holes.
But look, I mean, so you're such a stud. You're such a stud and a man's man that guy shoots you. You're you're bleeding, and that's close to your heart, isn't it? No, actually, your heart's more on your left side, isn't it? Isn't your heart more?
It's on your left side.
Yeah.
I mean, you pretty much have done the same thing. You had kidney stones and you did shows. So that's about the same thing.
Yeah. So then you get up and say, "Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to my gathering here. I'm not going to let this little dust up here stop me from delivering one hell of a speech." You open up your speech. It's got blood all over it. Your speech has got 2 holes in it, and you give the speech. I mean, that's a stud. Is it? Even if I don't like the guy's message, I'm like, man, that guy's got my vote.
And then the teddy bear was named after him.
How do you not vote for that guy?
Well, yeah, he must have been campaigning for somebody else, because it's happened in 1912, and he was last president in 1909. He served until Teddy.
It said former president. Yeah.
Then he went to he was an explorer and a mapper. And so they said, I think the reason why he died is he caught malaria down in South America. He was down in South America working as I don't think they call them mappers, but people that would travel through the rivers and then map it out, because you
like in the Amazon.
Topographers.
Yeah, like he like one of those, and he took his son and like one other dude, and think about some of the thick jungle that you could get into, right? I mean, like, you have no way to I think they have guns and stuff like that, but I mean, just the elements in itself. You're mapping out uncharted territory, things that haven't been dredged or cut back or anything, man. You're just like, and did he die from that, Lummy, or he got sick from that?
On January 6, 1919, Theodore Roosevelt died suddenly in his sleep at the age of 60. Overlooked now is the fact that the former president was expected to run again for a 3rd term the following year. Oh, yeah, because you were allowed to do that until FDR, after FDR. So
it looks like it was a .38 caliber bullet.
It was?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Teddy Roosevelt's the man. So anyway, listen, getting back, I got to close this out. We were discussing who, if you talk about the entire work of the program, the day the Bubba the Love Sponge show started would have been April 1st, 1986. That's the day, my first day that I got on the air. And I wasn't even Bubba the Love Sponge. I was rocking Bubba Clem. 103 PFR, rocking Bubba Clem with you. Don't forget, #1 for music and fun. We'll be giving away free Janet Jackson CDs for the next 5 callers. Call now, 813-232-1300 on the PFR power lines. And the top 5 will get a brand new Janet Jackson, what was that, 1814, I think was her album. I don't know what the hell it was. And then you go in, give me a beat, and you go into nasty. And you're in there jockeying. A disc jockey it's really what they used to do back in the day. People, they jockeyed discs because music was on records, and you had to. God, am I old when I'm the only person in this industry? I'm sorry, I'm the only person in this room probably that actually spun records. Like,
I did it.
You spun?
Yep.
Did you
on
have
the ones and twos?
Hold on. Did you have on the air though?
Yeah.
All right. So you would segue from one to another?
I'd mix into one.
Guess what my first board was? See, we're being complete radio nerds now. Nobody will be able to understand this. Lemmy might be able to look it up. My first board that I learned on was the old RCA 10 pot, rotary 10 pot. Are you familiar with those?
Yeah, they had it at WGUL.
Yeah.
I saw it.
That was the first board that I learned on. And then when I went to Grand Rapids for my second job, they had like a modern Wheatstone slide pot deal, which is what,
very sexy.
And I was like, oh my God, The board, just the on-air board is so super sexy. Lummy, are you looking up RCA 10 pot?
Yes.
An old school RCA 10 pot. This was the first radio board, that I learned on. But so, for the history of this show, from April 1st, 1986, with Rockin' Bubba Clem, to what I've become, what I am today. What I am is what you want. Name that artist.
Bubba
Clem, Edie Brickell.
Edie Brickell, yeah.
Bubba Clem.
Edie Brickell and the new.
Bubba Clem.
It was Edie Brickell and the New Radicals.
Something like that. That's the only
or
song
like
she
that.
had. That.
Yeah.
What I am is what you are.
And then she married.
Lummy looking high and dry.
The New
for
Bohemians.
That, RCA 10 pot, Lummy.
I've typed it in. It's giving me a bunch of parts.
She actually married Paul Simon based upon her visit to that Saturday Night Live where she performed that song. Like her and Paul Simon, he was like way older than her. But he saw her at that Saturday Night Live filming, went up to her, and then they got together from there. So
for real?
Yeah.
So her Saturday Night Live appearance is what kind of hooked her up with Paul Simon?
Yeah, and there's actually a moment in her performance where she looks over and sees him and kind of smiles and gets a little flapped up that Paul Simon's. He was standing right next to the cameraman watching. He was absolutely taking a shot. He wanted Edie Brickell.
She was kind of hippie hot.
Yeah. Yeah, she had that kind of girl next door, hippie stoner look.
Granola.
Yep, early 90s.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Paul, at this time, he's the You Can Call Me Al, washed up, bald.
I mean, Paul Simon, though, great. I mean, not washed. I mean, in the early 90s, he was still something.
What did he look like, though? Wasn't he all bald and, or are you just saying you're Paul Simon, you're Paul Mother effing Simon? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you're Paul Simon. You're Paul Mother effing Simon.
Yeah,
Say it.
You're Edie Brickell. 25
years her senior.
That's about pimp status. I mean, I wouldn't hate a guy for that. That to me, man, minus 25, it just shows you how much. It shows you how much game you got.
He had Carrie Fisher for a year too.
Yeah, well.
5'3", all 5'3" of them.
He's 5'3"?
5'3".
Wow, Paul Simon's
That's why I started playing guitar.
Yeah.
Impress the girls.
Boy, Simon and Garfunkel, one of the best ever.
I mean, come on.
Oh my God. I mean, like if you don't like Simon and Garfunkel and you don't listen to the lyrics really intently and really know just how brilliant they are, then quite frankly, I don't need an IQ test to tell me that you just aren't a very smart person.
Bridge over troubled water.
Oh my God. Or
Hello,
the sound of silence. Did you know he wrote that while he was in his closet?
Yeah.
Because he said he had it opened up a whole nother
part of his brain.
Yeah, if he would go in the complete darkness and just and just write or try to come up with some type of music.
Yeah,
I don't know what's your favorite sign. Mine probably is The Sound of Silence. Is probably mine. Again, Bridge over Troubled Water. Hello, Mrs. Robinson. God, how many? What were how many?
Sound of Silence. That's I Am a Rock.
Yeah, that was all right.
Scarborough Fair, Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme. Come on. The Boxer.
Now, are these the hits? Or are these just songs?
Yeah, no, The Boxer. You know The Boxer. The Boxer's a good one by them. We can't play any of them. It's unfortunate, but
because we'll get copyright, immediately.
But yeah, I am a rock. I am an island.
All right, let's just stop, okay?
Come on, good stuff, man.
Getting down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, we are way down. So who's the number one most over in the show's history?
Here you go. Here's my list, and you guys can all come up with a list as well. My list is number one, Ned. Just the run that Ned had. I mean, Lummy, you're early on your being the most popular guy. You're early on your run. You don't have near the time that Ned had on. I developed the Ned character with Manson, but it's like some of the storylines and stuff me and Manson would talk about and be like, hey, let's have Garnet, let's have a woman with a voice box call in one time as Garnet and that's how Garnet sounds. And then we'll always have an excuse as to why we can never get Garnet. Like we were trying to, as we were building the Ned character, we were trying to come up with ways that people would have questions and to devalidate, to refute the validness of Ned. So first thing we do is we got to Ned, if we're going to make him such a star, then we have to have a person that is Ned. So because we can't just always do appearance and just say, oh, Ned couldn't make it.
Yeah.
We eventually have to present to the public Ned. So Manson goes, well, my father-in-law, Donna's dad, Bob, so we developed Ned was Bob. So when we would go out to gigs, Ned, so all the pictures that we depicted of Ned, all the artwork, it was modeled after Bob. So I can remember the first time we were going to finally bring Ned out, and it was in 1997, Lummy, and we were going to be at the Manatee Mall or something
nice.
that, because one of our new CD projects. Remember in November we'd always come up with our yearly CD project, and so we get Bob, and we're like, Bob, and we put him in his flannel with his bandana and his glasses, just the way. That's
how you picture him,
right? So we're like, now Bob, all you gotta do is not talk, okay? And we're gonna come back the next day that you were too drunk and you just didn't want to. You were mad and you didn't want to deal with people. So just keep your head down, flip off people. If people want to take pictures with you, flip off the camera. And by the way, he had to sit right by me, Lummy, because I had to kind of babysit him / coach him along how I wanted, because if he just did it himself, he could have screwed it up and people would have the wrong perception. So we go to the first time. So Bob's sitting right beside me, and some people would walk up and say, man, Ned, I love you. And he would just put his head down and be like, yep. Because you can't mess up the word yep. So anyway, as we developed Ned, we tried to get Bob to all of us can do a Ned impersonation. Yes. Every true Bubba army has tried to attempt to do a Ned. That's how iconic Ned was. You know who the one person in the world that couldn't even come up with yes was Bob.
Yeah.
Bob couldn't do it. Bob would talk in his regular voice. He'd be like, hey, how you doing? And then people would come back and say, hey, I talked to Ned, and he didn't sound like anything on the radio. And then we'd have to come back with well, we put special effects on him in the radio and all that kind of stuff. And so we're sitting on our first appearance, and he's just flipping people off, and we pull it off brilliantly. And then throughout the career, so that was the big bait and switch, was that deal. So then, Brian, people would go back to guys on the work site, and the guys on the work site would say, there's no Ned. I heard it was like Manson or somebody playing. And
I met him. I saw him at the CD signing. Yeah. He said hi to me. He flicked me off.
I got a picture
to prove it to you.
Yeah, and so we would always put Manson on the other side of Ned, okay? So it would be Brent, Spice Boy, Manson, Bob, me. That's how it would be as far as the people getting our autograph, and they would be lined up for 2 or 3 hours to get our autograph. For real, I'm not kidding.
It was crazy. I used to help out with those back in the early 2000s, and it was nuts how down in Sarasota, Jacksonville.
There would be Lummy almost a line that went from here to 7-Eleven.
Jeez.
I'm not kidding. To not only buy our CD, but for us to get an autograph. So, Ned eventually, that's the big. People would go back and they'd argue and they'd be like, "No, I saw them," and they'd be like, "Nah, no." So the more that we did personal appearances with Bob, the more people just would absolutely swear to God that there's a Ned because they saw him, and pictures started getting out and things like that. Well, then, boy, Lummy, this is really a trade secret. I don't know if I should tell. Have I ever told the big switcheroo during Bubba Paloozas?
Yeah.
I've told that story.
Yeah, once, yeah.
The switcheroo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jason Lindquist 10 and Michael Mayer 20 on Venmo.
Because you'd think, how can they do a Bubba Palooza if Ned is Bob and Bob doesn't know any of these songs and he can't perform, Bob can't even say yes right. Like our Ned can't even say the most popular phrase of this character's his whole gimmick. I mean, Ned's whole gimmick was based on what word, Brian?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. And the guy that we play, and by the way, I would pay. Bob was retired something. He got a pension and all this kind of deal. So I would have to pay him cash underneath the table, and I'd give him like $200 an appearance.
Nice.
Allegedly, we're not going to talk about.
Well, whatever. I said 200 roses, right?
Yeah, roses.
Uh-huh.
And so, So then, Lummy, we were like, okay, we're gonna start doing Bubba Paloozas, and so Ned's gonna end. Like Ned's 1/3 of the show is Ned. Manson's got his bits to sing and his comedy, and then Brent and Spice Boy, and then Bubba's gonna do 10 minutes, and then Hamill. And Miller and Carl Harris are going to sing some Hamill songs, and then we're going to bring on Ned. But Ned, Bob, can't do it. We can't play songs and lip sync it. So what we had to do was we hired, Donna went to this professional makeup course kind of deal. And learned, like Brian, if you got really good theatrical makeup, you can add you can just really make somebody look about however way you want it. So we got a wig, and Manson would go up first, sing all of his songs, and then go right to the back, and Donna would start making him up to be Ned. Now, we would have Bob there, too, but he'd be in the back hiding. And so Manson would go up and do his set. Then, Spice.
Well, you have Bob come out with Manson at some point, though, right? Sell it. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So wait till you hear. So we do the show. Manson was first up so that he had the most time to prepare because Ned brought the show down. Ned was the encore. So then finally, then you have Spice. Then you'd have Brent. Then you'd have Hamill. But then you do a little intermission, like a 10-minute, 15-minute intermission. Because Brian, we're getting a percentage of alcohol sales at these places we would go to. And sell merch, and then they would open the second half of the show would be me. I'd open it up, get it going, and then throw it over to Ned. Ned would Manson, dressed as Ned, would go through his whole ordeal, and I would be in the on the light booth, Brian, with David Rice, and we only used blue and purple. We used real
darkening lights.
Yeah, darkening lights, and just Now I'll tell you though, Donna did a great job. Manson really did look like Bob. He really did. So the way we would end the show is, Manson would go. Manson dressed as Ned would do the show, be over, boom. I'd pop back up and introduce everybody. Thank you for coming out. Appreciate you, Detroit. Appreciate you, Cleveland. Appreciate you, Pittsburgh, Atlantic City, Phoenix, Reno. Las Vegas, Jacksonville,
Pittsburgh,
New Orleans, Pittsburgh. So I get there and say, thanks, Pittsburgh. We appreciate it. Let me bring out everybody now. Give everybody one last round of applause. Well, I'd say first and foremost, man, let's bring out the star of the show. Let's bring out Ned. Ned, come on out here. Well, it would be Bob. Because that's right.
Right.
So and I have him stand behind, be like, the house would tear down. Then I'd be like, okay, Spice Boy, Brent, Hamill, the Dancing Girls, Miller, Carl Harris. And meanwhile, Manson is in the back, just literally, Donna's tearing his makeup off and washing his makeup off and putting his hair back in a ponytail and giving him a complete different outfit. No, I'm sorry, putting him back in the outfit that he originally, remember he opened the show up, putting him back in his original outfit. And I go, and then of course my favorite, Manson. And so Manson would pop up with the same outfit that he had on when he opened the show, and people would see us all there and be like, there's no way Ned's not real. They're on the same stage together. I just watched him perform. So Ned, by far, like the Ned character. You're somewhat of a radio historian, Brian. The Ned character. There's been a few. Kevin Matthews from Chicago had a character named Jim Shorts. He was pretty funny. Phil Hendry has, of course, Phil Hendry is kind of, if you were to give credit where credit is due, Phil Hendry is kind of the guy that first came up with a guy playing a different voice, being somebody like all of Phil Hendry's phone calls were usually him.
Yeah. And who could forget the legendary Milton Fludgecow? I mean, if we're going to give props to fake characters and phony phone calls, Milton Fludgecow, one of the greats. Oh, thank God you've answered. I'm stuck in my trunk, and my car's going over the bridge. Ah! All those calls were set up, by the way.
So anyway,
yeah.
Ned, number 1, not even close. Number 2,
Milton.
Number two, we're talking about the most liked on the Bubba Show. Number 2, Lummy. I've written it all down, and you come in at number 2. Number 3, I ranked them 1 through 10.
Oh wow.
Number 3, and again, I'm the only person that saw the interactions and how the fans would respond to when they met a certain person from the show. Number 3 would be Brent.
I will say this. So I was going to say that back in the day. So Bubba would roll up to these CD signings anywhere from right on time to 20 minutes late, and roll right up, get down there, sign everything, and then take the hell out of there with some hot chick, and he'd be gone. And then Brent would literally stay, shake everybody's hand, and talk to everybody that wanted to talk
everybody
to him.
there.
Every single person. He would stay late while we were breaking everything down, and Kelly was doing her thing, and I was helping her.
I would say, I would only stay for as long as it took to sign the very last guy's
CD. He was out.
And I was
out. He would slam his marker down and say, I'm out of here.
My crew had their limo, and I had my limo.
Yep.
And I was usually with, I'd have, now Whitey Pippin. Whitey Pippin was my bird dog. That was my guy. So Whitey Pippin worked with me. He's like, I don't know that Whitey Pippin gets near the credit. I don't know that I've talked about this.
I don't think so.
But Whitey Pippin would be the one that would go get, a girl would come through the line, and I'd give him the Iggy. He'd be looking at me, and I'd give him the Office.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. About if I just and I would he knew which girl it would be. It would be obvious. I'm not.
Yeah, you ever, he knows.
I mean, a hot, dark-haired, in shape, hot 19, 20-year-old comes through the line to get it signed. I don't show a chink on my armor that I'm into her much. I just, thanks, appreciate. Yeah, nice to meet you. You want a picture? Sure, no problem here. Yep, thank you, appreciate you. You have a good day, thank you. Then I'd give the office over to Whitey Pippin. Whitey Pippin would go over to her and say, hey, listen, Bubba would like to have your phone number. Is that available? He asked me to ask you for your phone number. Is that doable? And then if she would give him the phone number, then he would sometimes say, hey, do you want to hang out with Bubba after the signing? And then that would just mean and so then he would take her. This is the whole rack. He would take her to my limo.
Nice.
And have her wait like the last 10 minutes. He'd count, I have 5 or 6 more people to go. He'd take her in my limo, and I always had champagne and beer and
perfect for a 19-year-old. Yes.
Vodka.
Yeah, absolutely. Fly him.
Yeah. So, the 19-year-old would already be in my limo, Lummy. And then I'd, Elvis myself into the limo, and we'd tear out of there. And then I'd pay the limo guy. I'd say, listen, this is only going to be about an hour or so.
Nice.
And what'd you do with the other 58 minutes?
Again, the roast will be on December 22nd,
and
8 to 10.
And then Lummy, he would get her home because I usually had to go to Brian will tell you they were never Friday or Saturday nights. They were always Tuesday,
Wednesdays, Tuesdays.
Yes, Tuesday, Wednesdays, or Thursdays were the only nights we could do these. So we would have to be back on the air the next morning. And we most of our show would be talking about, the signing and all the people and stuff like that. But meanwhile, I had the hottest cricket that went through the line.
Would you ever do this with 2 chicks at the same time?
No.
No, just one.
Just one. And so Lummy, Whitey Pippen, that was my guy. He was so smooth. His closing ratio was unbelievable.
High.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lummy, but you're number 2.
Thank you.
If we're talking about all-time most liked people. And then we got to Brent. Brent's number 3, and that Brian told that story, the fact that the fans loved Brent.
Oh, they'd bring him party favors, and he would gladly accept them.
Can we break and then go, because we're way late.
Yeah.
On this is only segment 3.
So we need a break.
Yes.
And pick it up from number 4?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Bubba.
Throw me a phone, bitch.
Once again, he's showing off why he received a doctorate in spin execution and control.
Yes. How much?
More of the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
What's up? Dark match coming in with heat for Lummy. Interesting. Good morning, DMS. God, show me the way. S in me. Subzol.
Yeah, I don't know where the replacement paper towels are, but somebody left one square for me to use.
All good. All just
I gotta talk to Lummy.
Did you say Lummy? Hi, friend. How are you?
Hi, friend. Hi.
Hi, friend. Hi.
Lummy.
What's up, everybody? Chooky. Tell you a joke. What goes 99 thump, 99 thump, 99 thump? A centipede with a wooden leg. Morning, Gary. Permagrom? Dutch Duke? Grouper Lips, how you doing, bud? There's Lum Lum.
Hello.
The man, the myth, the legend, the most overhuman being.
Brian, Babyface Matroni. That's who you're speaking of, right?
Of course. Jay Bowler. Oh, FSU got fucked, Crazy Horse. No doubt about it. Thanks, Gary. I gotta, go up north for the family, and Martin Luther King weekend is the least disruptive time for us. What's up, Mitch? I will miss you all at the barb. Pretty good dark match, Steve. Thanks, Scary Terry. What's the only fruit that can't get married, Iggy? Cantaloupe. I'll have to check it out, Joe. Mama's not here, Chubbed Woody. Yes, I'll autograph anybody's tactical bag.
With me.
Thanks, Ult. -1 trillion. All right, that's fair enough.
Have you tried the Fit Crunch bars?
Hmm?
Have you tried Fit Crunch bars?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Good as fuck. I've been doing the protein bar game for a while, and those are the best I've ever had. I'll bring one for you sometime. Get some more.
I can buy one. Fit Crunch, it's called.
Yeah, bro. I want to eat.
Are they the ones that have like? Have you tried the ones that have the wafers in them? Like they're
the Fit Crunch shows one of
Thin
those.
Crunch or whatever it is, or
Oh, Think Thin or no?
Think
Hey,
Thin.
Anna. Did you like them? Was that a pit move?
Yeah, it was Fit Move.
Thanks, babe.
I mean, you could just go over there and like fire everybody. Like you have that. You have.
What happened?
K5, K5. K motherfucking 5.
We don't keep anything from the people anymore.
Yes.
We let it all hang out.
Oh, on a happy Hanukkah.
From the people.
Oh, thank you so much. I know. I learned that yesterday on my calendar.
7.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
Oh, Hanukkah started today?
Yeah.
tonight I think. It was.
Oh. Instead of one day.
It didn't fire.
Somebody's gonna get fired.
Always getting fired. Working all the kinks.
Time to draw the line. Welcome
I
to
had both
new
pots
levels of insanity and depravity.
Yeah, we're talking about
Bubba the Love Sponge.
I had both pots up. I mean, listen, let me be. We're riddled full of technology stuff today, are we not?
Yes, we are.
But I'm keeping a good attitude about it. Back in the day, this would have completely ruined my day. I would have been a prick to everybody, and maybe even have walked out. Maybe.
Yes, yeah, most likely.
So we're talking about the most popular people ever to be on the show, not to be confused with we have to get into the Las Vegas shooting next, too. Which seems like most of them.
Would people get those two confused?
Yeah, they might. Yeah, a lot of times Las Vegas shooters get confused with Spice.
Like, who's
both,
your favorite
sorry.
Vegas
well,
shooter?
they're both scumbags.
Mine's Stephen Paddock.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I got so much swirling around in my crock pot of my 109 IQ brain that it's
okay.
just,
We're here for you.
trying to manage stuff and just, oh my God. Anyway, so Lummy, you're number 2. Brent's number 3. Now, this is where you know that I'm intellectually honest. You want to talk about transparency, Brian? This is it right here.
It's got to be Spice. Then.
When I say Spice,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It's just true. He was very popular, which made what he did even hurt me more.
Yeah,
is the fact that he was so popular. I had built him up. I had taken a troubled kid who was part of the goals program at Countryside High underneath my wing and made him. I mean, there was times where there were. I'm the employer. I can give out all the numbers I want, I think. Is there anything legally against Brian being an employer with his own radio show and I talk about how much I paid a guy?
I don't think so.
Yeah. There were a few years where Spice Boy made $300,000. If you all in with regards to his Bubba Palooza monies, his bonuses, things like that. There were a couple of years where he made 300.
Okay, Anna?
There were a couple of years. There were a couple of years that Manson made 7.
Oh.
I thought 750 was his max. He said, yeah.
In 1 year.
Yeah.
Wow.
He made 750. If you count his Bubba Palooza money, there was. Listen, I think for Bubba Palooza Calgary, I handed Manson I think $50,000. I think $50,000, and I think Spice and Brent both made $25,000.
And Bob got 200.
Everyone cuts their own deal.
So, here, the all-time top 10 most liked people in the history of my program.
Anna's fapping over those numbers over here, by the way.
Ned won.
I know. I'm quite the opposite. I'm like
fapping.
crying.
Ned 1, Lummy 2, Brent 3, Spice 4, Manson. I mean, you got to put Manson in there.
Yeah.
Manson. I mean, the people loved Manson. His bits were great until they weren't. And you know what? You know what's? And I haven't really talked about this a lot, but if you go back and listen to about 2010, is where his songs went from being funny to mean.
Yeah.
And like because we've been downloading some older stuff from the Cox days, and I hear what Manson produced back in 08 and 09, and then we're on 10 right now, and they started to get really mean in 10.
What the biggest mistake you can do as an employer is let your employees know the financial side of your business.
Right.
And you probably did that with him, and he resented you for it.
No, he hated Heather because he hated anything that could potentially trip me up.
He was a visionary. Man ahead of his time.
Silence speaks wonders.
Can't wait to the next list I go to, which is the most hated. Just can't get to that list fast enough.
You're all 10, Brian.
Number 6.
Spice is number 4 on both lists, by the way.
Yeah.
By the way, you're not too far off. God, you're brilliant. You do know the show. Number 6 behind Manson, it would be Dan. Dan is.
I think 25 when he was
popular.
over was more over.
Guido, number 7. Shannon Burke, number 8. 25, number 9. And number 10. I thought I have Shannon listed twice. I had Shannon as 9. I'm sorry, 8 and 10. So I need one more. I need one more. I got Ned, Lummy, Brent, Spice, Manson, Dan, Guido, Shannon, 25.
Bye, boy.
All bull.
No.
Frank.
Would you put Janessa in there?
She's still scamming people to this day.
What do you mean scamming people?
All the fake Janessa.
Yeah, I was going to say.
She's not doing it.
Let's not besmirch the good name
She's not doing it.
Janessa Brazil. Just because Janessa Argentina's on there trying to make some money.
No, I know who number 10 is. Dave Rice.
There you go. I was going to say that, but I wasn't sure if you meant on air.
No,
people.
Dave Rice. There you go. So that's my 10 list. He's the most popular of all time in the history of the show, like it or not.
What about Tara? She was a part of the show.
Yeah, Tara.
She got fired.
I'm going to put Tara in there instead of Dave Rice.
Yeah.
I am.
You have to.
I mean, because people love. In fact, she probably should be more like 7.
Number 5.
Right behind Dan at number
How
7.
long did she work on the show?
She like a year or so.
Oh, Lasker, dude.
Yeah.
No, Lasker's definitely top 5.
Yeah.
Lasker.
Yeah.
See, you're screwing me up.
No, well, they're helping you out. I mean, really.
Oh, Jesus. So what's the official list?
Where do I rank? Where's Tom the Tree Man?
Last.
1, 2 is Lummy. Lummy, I'm assuming this is all coming from chat, and you are the ambassador of chat, so you have to help me out here, okay?
Okay.
3, I got Brent. I think
Lasker might be above Brent.
No.
Really?
No.
No, there's more people every day asking for Brent back.
Yeah,
than
4.
Lasker.
I don't know.
4 would be Lasker. 5 would be Spice. Hold on, Spice. 6 would be Dan. 7 would be Tara. 8 would be probably Shannon. 9, Guido. And 10, 25. I think that's a pretty fair list.
I think that's better list, yeah.
That's the official list.
All right.
Ready? Ned, Lummy, Brent, Lasker, Spice, Dan, Tara, Shannon, Guido, 25.
Can't believe you forgot me. How about that?
We didn't forget you.
You did. You totally forgot
you're
Gene
number 5.
Lasker.
You're number 5.
No. First of all, Gene Lasker's number 1. If you ain't number 1, you're last.
Listen, buddy, you find someone else to handle your powder coating.
That's it.
All right. Don't need a Lasker imitation contest here, please. And then finally, the most hated. And here's my list.
This is where I shine.
This is where you need to be the chat rep that you are.
All
right. Chat god.
You need to be the chat god that you are, and as I'm giving this information out and my ideas, you're monitoring chat heavily and seeing what they're saying. Okay.
Okay, we'll do.
Most hated. I got Cowhead, Spice, Brian, Anna, Big Dick.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I got.
That'd be a great show. We should start our own morning show.
That sounds fun.
The most hated in the morning.
You mean the most hated Bubba Nut Hungers?
So, Anna, you and I are in there with 3 people that royally screwed Bubba over. Like, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive.
I think.
Yeah, that's amazing.
What's the official list again? Number 1, hold on. 1, Cowhead, right?
Yep.
Let's go all the way to 10.
2, okay, let's do Spice Boy. 3, I got Brian.
Decap?
No.
Oh, come on. We love Decap.
Yeah, but he's not like he was wasn't
a
hate. It was a pity.
He was a cup of
Always
coffee.
wanted to feed him with the chainmail.
5, let me I need names here, guys.
Yeah, Tuttle.
Okay, yeah, I would go with Tuttle. Yes, absolutely. I need 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay.
So this is chat. This comes from Trace.
How about
Seth.
Trey?
Yeah, Trace.
Seth is listed.
I'm putting down
People liked Seth.
Seth.
Just not me.
I mean Trace. Seth's not in play.
Okay, I'm just saying what's being listed
No,
here.
you can't put nobody. I see somebody.
Somebody said
Colton.
Dan.
Colton.
Oh, Colton was loved.
Don't
Yeah,
ever
Colton was
besmirch
loved.
the great Colton.
Colton's
he
awesome.
will never be on there. B-Fud. Yeah.
B-Fud was over too, though, man.
The thing about it is if he just would have listened to me, I could have made him the biggest. I mean, Brian, he knew how to work the mentally handicapped game. He knew how to work that whole gimmick. And like when the Bucks first told us no about getting press passes, can you imagine if I would have sent him in there with his telephone talking to the media rep and saying he's a legitimate radio network, and why are you not letting me have my media credentials is it because I'm mentally he would. I mean, if he got like a fancy attorney like you to represent him, saying, "Hey, on behalf of the Bubba Radio Network, it's our attention that you've denied us media credentials. Are you familiar with our sports guy? He is a mentally handicapped adult that we're trying to give a second chance in life to. His dreams and aspirations was to be a sports reporter, and no other radio station in the world would hire this guy except us. So we're trying to fulfill his dream under the American Disabilities Act, 5'9" or 4'9" or 6'9". You don't think that they would have been there would have been we would have definitely gotten media passes, don't you think?
Yeah.
And then he has Cooper or something when they're like on a 4-game skid. Hey, coach, you're like we give him staged questions.
Those are stupid play calls you're making out there.
Out there?
Out there on the field, you're making some stupid calls.
And I'll tell you what else is stupid, not having 91 signed for a big contract. Hasn't he been like the best player we've ever had? Like, now, would that not be the best ever?
It would be funny.
Oh, my God.
Until it was
not funny.
Not funny.
All right,
Ash Chin.
Yes.
Slow Joey Logano.
Okay, Ass Chin. Hold on. SJL. I need 2 more. SJL. Here's what I got most hated. Cowhead, Spice, Brian, Anna. Anna, you're top 5 on the most hated.
Thank you.
Tuttle, Trace, Ass Chin, SJL. I need 2 more.
Giant Beetlejuice people are listing.
Nah, poor guy's
He wasn't
dead.
here too long either. He was just here for a cup of coffee.
He's dead. He's
In
dead.
free breakfast.
Rob Gargiulo.
No, I liked Rob. I'm not going to put him in there. Awesome Kong.
You named
Some
Big
people
Dick.
put some people put Jabberjaw in there.
Yeah. I loved Jabberjaw, but she, post working for me, really ended up saying some very mean and untrue and hateful stuff, like just not cool stuff. And I was like, I really liked her. And when I hired Gargiulo, I had a conversation with her. I'm like, listen, Kim, he's not going to be your boss. You guys are going to be co-executive producers. He's going to handle this part of the producing, and he's actually going to be more guests oriented, and you're more preparatory oriented. And he's not your boss. You guys are if anything, I'll have him kind of report to you if you'd like. Like, that's the conversation I had with her, Brian, and she was like, I hired somebody. If you have that conversation with an employee and you bring in a new person, and then they quit because they think that you replace them with a new person, but you had the conversation, that's not on you, is it? That's on them, ain't it?
Honey, I'm not replacing you. I'm just bringing somebody in to take care of the BJs, and then you're going to take care of the cooking and cleaning still. But you're not being replaced.
Hey, did you have Big Dick on your list?
No, he needs to be on there.
He was there at first.
Yeah, no, you got to take him off, it looks like.
Yeah, he's far higher than 9, but I'm just going to put him down as 9. So, okay, that's all we have to go. We know that the most hated is Cowhead Spice. Brian, you're 3.
That's impressive.
Just think about this.
I'm proud of that.
In today's current lineup.
Yeah.
I'm the most hated.
But in today's current lineup, and think about how long we've been doing this and how many different lineups there's been. What have we counted? Like 15 different lineups?
Yeah, throughout
So
the
in
teams,
15 different lineups, I got the number 2 most liked guy and the number 3 and 4 most hated person. That's a hell of a show I've put together.
And don't forget number 5 or 6 most liked on there. 2 and 5 and
6, Dan.
Yeah, 6 or whatever it is.
I got 2 and 5 on the like, and 3 and 4 on the dislike. It pretty much kind of evens itself on out to be a brilliant show.
Yep.
There you go. Let me get caught up. We'll come back with the big shooting from Vegas. Some nut job was applying to be to work at uni. Was he applying to be a professor?
Yes, he was.
Okay. And they must have, the brilliant people of the brilliant HR department of UNLV saw a little. No, we don't want to hire you. He got a flat no. So then he went back to the university and shot 3 people dead.
67-year-old professor too. Jeez.
Jesus.
We'll do that next.
Bubba, you're hot.
Bubba-isms are the best thing in the world, man.
It's fun. It's so much fun.
Bubba the Love Sponge. We love you, Bubba.
The Bubba the Love Sponge show returns after these words.
Seth is controversial. A lot of people love him. A lot of people hate him. We should call Beefut up and see how he's doing.
No, he's a troll.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a harmless troll.
No, he's not.
Oh.
He's not.
He's not harmless?
No.
Oh.
No, he's not.
He's not.
What's he done?
We'll just stay off his radar.
Okay. He tagged you guys on Twitter the other day.
He does it every week.
He tags everybody. He's a big Manson mark, and he's just a dick. He tries to cause problems.
Oh.
Meanwhile, if he just baby-faced and was cool, it'd be great. Let me, on Anna's story, there is no video.
Okay.
I think I can find you one. Hold on.
Can you find me the actual, maybe CBS breaking news?
Yeah, for sure.
So you can get off on Nora O'Donnell?
Perhaps. So tell me when you send it.
Yeah.
Anytime on it you get a story, if you can cross-reference it and find it somewhere besides Daily Mail.
Sure. Sometimes they have videos, but here you go. Here's a.
Just because Daily Mail, they just pre-roll the fuck out of you.
Okay. Noted. Got it. Thank you. Sorry.
Brent's not on the hate list for Bubba's show. Brent got hate from the Stern show.
I heard back from Howard yesterday.
Yeah.
He just said, "Thank you so much, Bubba. It's a very sad time." Lummy, you got it yet?
I sent it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, he named you as the list of people who had reached out to him at the end of the show.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
How did he say it?
He said, he was going through his text, and he's like, this person, Bubba, this person.
That was good.
Yeah.
That's good. Thank you for that information.
You're welcome.
Number 3.
Number 3. Who does number 3 work for?
I'd have to say you're number 4.
Who do you put at 3?
Oh, I thought you meant I'm number 3.
Fish on J, 25. Dash up. Yeah, no, there's no way you're a big dick.
I'm one of the great heels on the show, though.
Yeah, he was a heel back then. And he's
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's just a dick.
A big one.
At least I have some redeeming qualities. Yeah, some level of you can love to hate me. But I'm okay. I lean into it. No, Ralph Sorella. Ralph the stylist Sorella died at Howard's show.
Not at his show.
Well, no, from his show. This guy said, "Who died at Howard's?"
No, he didn't.
No, that's in chat.
He died at his.
No.
I think he actually died on the operating table.
Yeah, he died during a procedure. You had some good calls with Ralph back in the day.
We're working on things. We got him working. Appreciate the concern.
Just trying to make some conversation during hot mic here, but we'll shut it
down.
down.
But there also comes a point where I'm back here. I'm offensive coordinator. I'm back here trying to call some fucking plays.
Here, dodge me.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, brother.
I'm trying to.
I got him. 7, 4, 3.
Are you mad that I'm higher on the list than you?
I'm worse at being.
You're worse at being hated.
Worst.
You can't even be hated as good as somebody else.
I know. I'm just fucking.
Uneven fucks up being hated.
Yep.
Yeah, just not quite enough.
Thanks, Main J. I think you're right.
What are you doing for Christmas?
We're gonna be home for Christmas. I'll be home for Christmas.
Do your in-laws, your parents kind of help around?
They just they come over. We host the family for Christmas lunch.
Come around, I thought.
Well, my parents do. We moved my mother-in-law out.
Oh, did you? Your father-in-law?
No, we moved them out.
Oh.
My mother-in-law had to go.
Oh, I see.
I bought a condo and put them in there because I could not deal with her anymore.
That's rich people problems right there, motherfuckers. Hey, fuck you, Brian. That's rich people problems right there.
Listen, I ain't saying I'm not doing better than most. I'm not.
I mean, don't act like you're fucking. I don't want to even hear that you ain't balling, bitch.
But I could have had a Ferrari. Instead, I got a condo for my mother-in-law.
That should be a fucking rap song.
So, who is having the most problems with you?
Everybody. She is.
Just say it.
She is a very difficult person for any normal human being to get along with.
But she's still married to her husband in there.
Huh?
Together. She's still married to her husband.
Yeah. Rich, I'll take Steph's father. He's a absentee, quiet alcoholic. Sit on the couch all day, watch TV. He stays out of the way. Doesn't cause any problems. He's fine. Could not deal with.
Is she just like a busybody? Or?
Monster-in-law. She is.
Love Sponge.
Broadcasting from a bricked-in parking garage near the flight path of a major American airport. It's time to turn out the propaganda and manipulate some minds. Now return to the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Yeah, Brian, let's continue that hot mic conversation you were having now.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
For real? You won't get heat from this deal?
I don't give a crap.
Brian was talking about at one time, Brian, God bless his little soul.
During COVID.
He had his parents, along with his wife's parents, all living with him.
Yep.
A few years, right?
Yeah, for about 2
years.
2 years. And Brian, I didn't even know this, but
almost 3 years.
Brian just blurted out during the hot mic that he could not take it a minute more, and that his mother-in-law was so alpha and so and just such a, I mean, really irritated him to the point where Brian, I'm assuming it's an investment. After she passes away, you'll either flip it or continue.
No, it's going to go to my daughter because homeownership is going to be an absolute dream for her generation.
All right, you're right.
Yep. So my plan is to keep it for her.
You have a life after you know who.
Mm-hmm.
So
Monster-in-law.
Brian says I had to buy a condo for my mother-in-law, who I call monster-in-law, because I could not take it another second. She is then he went into this big long list as she is the most, and then we were getting ready to go back. I had to put my headphones on, but blah 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 blah. So Brian, what say you? Is you
so
just
this
could
is the
not
type of person
get does your wife and her get along, or does your wife think the same thing you do?
She loved her mother, and she still loves her mother to death because my father-in-law was kind of he was physically present but emotionally absent. He was an alcoholic, high functioning alcoholic, would go to work every day, come home immediately, his first drink was on the way home, and then there'd be subsequent drinks, didn't go to her sporting events or anything like that, was just, he very much kept to himself.
You mean with regards to being a grandparent?
Yeah, I literally had like a Willy Wonka situation in my house. It was bad. So
so you had your mom and dad. Hold on, you had your wife, your daughter, you, your mom and dad, and then your
2 dogs and a cat.
2 dogs and a cat, and then your mother's mom and dad.
Yes, my wife's mom and dad.
I'm sorry, your wife. I'm sorry, your wife's mom and dad.
Yeah,
and your wife's mom and dad consisted of this woman, who you call monster-in-law, and the grandpa to your daughter, better know your father-in-law, and you're saying he was a functioning alcoholic.
Yeah,
and he was not present during any of some various milestones that his granddaughter may have achieved.
No, my wife, his daughter. This is as a father.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So as your wife was growing up,
all she had was her mom.
He was absent during the majority of her milestones as a girl.
Emotionally absent, and then at times physically not present.
Okay.
Yes.
So now that's his deal. How about her?
So because he was so emotionally absent, she was the commandeering, commanding. She's 6'1", by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So
holy
I'd love
God,
to see her.
That's a big bitch.
That is a big woman.
Yeah.
Is she still 6'1"?
She's still 6'1".
Wow.
Right. And she got a mouth on her?
Oh, the mouthiest of mouths.
Right. And do you guys ever go like,
Oh, we've gotten into it.
Like close to throwing hacks?
Oh, she's shoved me before. Yeah.
In your own house?
What?
Yep.
That's balls.
And you didn't Patrick Swayze roundhouse her?
No. Are you kidding me? First of all, that's a felony, brother. She's over 70.
Oh.
But she's also over 6 feet.
Yeah, but she pushed you.
Please.
She pushed you.
Yep. She shoved me.
But the last thing you need is the cops showing up at the house.
I was not dealing with it.
Right.
And that was really the problem there, is because she started, like, she's not very bright. And so...
Now, hold on. Let me just stop you. Does your wife feel the same way here? Because if your wife doesn't feel the same way,
I've shared all this with her. I've shared all this with her, and if she's listening, if she wants to have a problem,
I've already ruined Dan's home life. I don't want to ruin yours too.
No, this is all on me. This is not. So
I'm going to go on record by saying I don't think we should be. talking about this.
Let me just say this: she thinks she's smarter than she is. She plays checkers. She can't play chess. Okay,
right. Kind of like me. That's kind of how I am.
Yeah,
her and I might be a lot alike.
She has a little less impulse control than you, but
oof, that's not good.
Okay,
so
let's give. I think Brian just gave me a compliment.
He sure did.
Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome.
I think my 109 brain just determined that.
I just determined.
I think that was a compliment.
Yeah, a very slight, underhanded, backhanded compliment. Thank you, Brian.
So after this big blow up fight.
Which happened when?
Oh, I'll tell you the story about what happened.
Let's get into it.
So we're gonna get into it. Let's get real.
Let's go ahead and roll. Let's roll our sleeves up and really get into this.
Yeah.
So we have good.
By the way, this story is about when Brian and his mother-in-law almost came to blows.
Well, I was never going to touch her.
Okay, let's be clear. This story is when Brian and his monster-in-law, mother-in-law, got into such a heated argument that she shoved him.
I was sitting up in my bed. And so this is what happened.
Okay.
we had friends who were desperately trying to have a second child, and they had
got them over, and you were trying to help them out a little bit.
They had gotten pregnant.
Interesting.
They had gotten pregnant, and then earlier that week, they frantically called us because they were having some complications with the pregnancy, and they needed somebody to watch their daughter. And so we said, absolutely, bring her over, because she had to rush to the hospital, and they were able to save the baby then, but then she ultimately lost the baby later that week or the next week.
All right. And I'm assuming all during this time you're watching their daughter.
Well, just for one day.
Okay.
And then they get her under control. They it's touch and go. So
they get the kid back and you're good. All right.
So my mother-in-law we don't tell her about this, but there's enough going on around that she can sort of figure it out.
Yeah.
Now, when she moved in with us, I made a very clear rule. I said, our friends, our social circle, they're not yours, okay? They're ours. And so I don't want you injecting yourself into our circle of friends and thinking that they're your friends, because that's not the way it works. And
man, a little stiff on the friend giving.
Oh, no. But I've lived with her before, you got to remember. I know this woman. I know her better than anybody in the world.
So you're saying, not because you're trying to be stingy with your friends, you're trying to keep
his friends.
You're trying to keep
my
friends
away.
away.
100%, because I know
you're
the
trying to
person
keep your friends away from the monster.
So
right? That's your ulterior motive.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
So she knows that this couple were going through this situation. They didn't tell her. I didn't tell her. She just knew, right? So it's the weekend now. We decide to have them. We get them out of the house after they lost their baby. It's the next week. Try and cheer them up a little.
Yeah.
Have some people over
distraction,
to the pool for a pizza party on a Sunday with the kids. My mother-in-law has the audacity to go up to the woman and whisper in her ear, "Are you pregnant?" Knowing everything that happened.
She didn't know for sure.
Oh no, she knew. She knew.
Why would she?
She knew that
because
she
likes to tell. She likes to convince people that she's got this gift where she can just sense things. She's an intuitive.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
she's like one of those tarot card bitches.
So our friend immediately she goes. She goes, "Nope, I'm just fat right now." And just wants to stop, and she goes, no, I think you may be. And she's like,
and
doubling.
she just lost the baby the week before.
Yeah, like that week.
And your mother-in-law 100%
knew
that.
what was going on. 100% knew.
Right.
First of all, shouldn't have said anything anyways.
Absolutely, but I was wondering if it was just,
definitely should have been aware that if she hadn't lost it, if she wasn't aware that she had lost it, she was aware that they were having problems.
Sure.
Okay?
And there was complications.
So I'm apologizing. I'm like, I'm so sorry. She's an idiot. I can't help it. And she's
can't fix stupid.
She's trying to be cool about it.
That's what Tom Bean comes on behind me.
So
Tom Bean, just anybody have any business interaction? I'm sorry, so stupid.
I don't know this, and I tell my mother-in-law, I'm like, drop it, don't say another word. So I don't know this. Later on, she gets her in the kitchen and continues again. When I don't know what was said in the kitchen. So later that night, I get an angry text from the husband, our friend, about what happened. He's like, I just found out about this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, we'll take care. So, we kind of have it out with
your mother-in-law,
my mother-in-law about it. And
so after the text from the dude, do you go down to your mother-in-law's wing of the house and say, hey, Rhonda, this is just not, as you're gathering information and the dude's called you and or texted you, I'm assuming you go and have a confrontation with her.
Yeah. So actually,
what's the first things out of your mouth?
So, well, I had originally said, don't say anything. And my wife was the one who took care of that conversation. So my mother-in-law, so we're now getting ready for bed. Aria's asleep. We're getting ready for bed. It's 10 o'clock on a Sunday. And she comes into the room. And she has the audacity to blame us for not telling her not to go talk to our friends, which was the rule to begin with. Anyways, if they're not talking to you, so you're not talking to them. Hold on.
She has the balls to roll as you're getting ready for bed, in bed.
Right.
She has the balls to come into your bedroom.
Yes.
That's a little bit.
She knocks on the door.
That's old school, man. Like when your mom, man, I had one rule. When mom and dad are in bed or in the bedroom, the door stays you are not, unless you cut off your arm with a skill saw or somebody, unless it's something of dire emergency, something that I need to know, you do not disturb us when the door is shut.
So she comes in.
Even if we're just, rolling around there nude, getting ready, showering.
My wife is nude. She's showering.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
She's showering at this point.
Not because we're blasting, because
we're
could
getting
be
ready for bed. We're tired. It was that whole situation was bad. We just hosted people.
Right, so that's underwritten rule. Like, you don't go to a man's bedroom after a certain time when the door is shut.
Right. So she knocks on the door, kind of injects herself.
And punched her right there on the doorknob.
She goes, I may not have shouldn't have said anything, but it's your guys' fault for not telling me, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, we didn't owe you any explanation. You just should have kept your mouth shut. I said, and so she goes on and doubles down on it again. And so finally I said to her, I just said, screw you. And that's all I said. And she, like, you could literally see the steam coming out of her ears. She's like, screw me. And she gets up in my face, and I'm like, please punch me. I'm in my head, I'm begging that she just cocks me right in the face.
Why?
Because then I would call the cops, and I would get a restraining order, and she would be out of the house and out of my life forever.
Right. So you're saying, please hit me.
I'm like, hit me.
Hit me with everything you got, bitch.
Hit me with your best shot.
Right.
Fire away.
Pat Benatar. You're like, Pat Benatar. Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. Because the bitch is going to be in handcuffs, isn't she?
Absolutely.
You don't care if the neighbors talk. You want the walk of shame that she has to from the front door to the squad car, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so go ahead.
So she's in my face. She's screaming at me. And I'm literally just sitting up in my bed. And I'm like, and I look at her and I just say, screw you.
Again.
Screw you,
bitch. Oh, good.
Absolutely.
Good. Yeah.
You should have said screw you, bitch.
And I was sitting literally like this.
About to get mine.
So she starts screaming, and she's in my, now she's like finger like an inch from my face. And I'm like, do it. And my wife comes running out of the shower. She's like trying to hold a towel.
I'd like to see those knocks.
Just trying to hold a towel on. And as she gets in between us, my mother-in-law, she shoves me.
In the face, on the shoulder.
She got my shoulder. Yeah. She could have hit my face, but she missed and got my shoulder, and she had to get that shoving. So so that happened, and then the fight.
Thank God you didn't call the cops, because you can.
There wasn't enough on that.
You can shove and not be arrested.
Yeah, there wasn't enough there. Right. So then like 2 days later, my wife's not home. And my mother-in-law starts in again about what happened and wanting to talk to me.
Did you just avoid each other for those 2 days?
God, hold on. So, girl, your insurance policy ain't there, and Mama rolls up with you alone trying to get the last minute.
My parents were home, and Richie was there, and Aria was there. And so she goes, I want to talk now. And I was like, I'm not talking. I'd just gotten home from work. I was like, I'm not talking now. I said, I'll do it when I'm ready. I'm going to spend time, make my daughter dinner, and spend time with her right now.
Right.
She goes, no, I'm talking now. And she slams the cabinet. And I said, respect my house. Do not do that again. She's like, are you threatening me? And she gets up and she chest bumps me now. And
this bitch is out of her mind.
I'm like, she's out of her mind.
That's where
she's out of her mind.
Did you chest bump her back?
So I
would have undertaked her.
So I
would have undertaken her.
So I go outside with our. So I get away.
I've undertaked a bitch before.
Have you?
It's gonna take a while to get there, Brian.
So I get away from the situation. I take my daughter outside. And
she was creating space,
and
much like Calta.
Yeah,
and she was creating space. I could have been charged. Really,
I mean, really, that's how absurd it is to what they told her, right? As far as Erica, saying you're lucky that Mike Calta doesn't press charges on you. You would be arrested for battery, and he was only creating safe distance between you.
Nice segue back to you.
Nice segue, making it about you, Bubba. It is the Bubba the Love Sponge show. It's not the Babyface and his mother-in-law show, okay?
But I do like the story. Continue.
So get my daughter outside on the playground. I was like, I've got on our little playground that we have there.
Hold on. You got to take your girl. You got to take your daughter. You might be a little bit upper crust white trash when you have to take your daughter out to the playground and tell her, stay out here for a little bit because Daddy's got to go whoop some grandma ass.
I stay outside. Right. I stay outside with her. I want nothing to do with.
Daddy's got to whoop some grandma ass, doesn't he?
So I get away from her. I call my wife up, who's at work, and I'm like, look, here's the situation. This is what just happened. I just want you to know, not to be upset with you. I was like, but I can't be around your mom right now. On the heels of everything,
I'm driving to the bridge. I'm driving to the bridge.
This is becoming an issue, and yada yada yada. So I have that conversation with my wife. A minute later, after I hang up with my wife, and she can tell I'm cool, calm, collected. I'm not making a big deal out of it. I'm just letting her know what happened. My mother-in-law calls my wife. And she literally said to my wife, I will ruin your husband's life. And at that point, I'm like, oh, she's going to make up.
Yep.
She's going to make something up.
She's going to take a comb and go it against her neck. For real. She's going to take like some type of scratching device.
I have no idea what her plan is.
She's going to take a brush or a comb and she combs up her neck. Bam, 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 bam. Calls the cops and says, look at my neck. That's where he got me. And they immediately, Brian, without asking any questions
gone.
They got you. You're getting Mirandized and going to the Land O'Lakes facility.
Do you think she's capable of something like that?
Hell yeah, she is.
In the right situation, she's not. She, like I said, she plays checkers, not chess. She doesn't realize the ramifications of what she just said.
But what other way could she ruin your life? She would have to Iggy herself up
she just angry,
to show that you would put your hands on her, call the cops, and have you arrested. That's her way of ruining your life.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, she can't say that you raped her or that you did anything to her that you could prove because you are and you're obviously in the playground. Yeah, with your mom.
Big bitch.
She's an Amazon bitch.
Yeah.
They're not even the same weight class.
I know. She got to reach on her.
Yeah. I'd be like, officer, I know you're arresting me, but just look at the reach alone. I couldn't get a jab in.
Yeah, you're right. You're free.
She was peppering the hell out of me, sir. I was going to have to take her down to the ground.
So at that point, I have a long conversation. Oh, what was funny too is after she shoved me, I had kind of alluded to the fact. I was like, I'm worried about your mom. I was like, she doesn't really think things through, and I'm worried that
she's a liability. She's already. Hold on, I'm a little worried about your mom. She's already threatened to ruin my life. So, you think I could live in the same? You think I'm going to let that bitch live in my house?
So at that point,
at the end of the day, Brian, you do have a set of balls on you.
No.
You're a man. You're a man at the end of the day.
So at that point, I said, she's got it. We've got to get her out of here.
When did this all occur?
This was all like
2 weeks ago.
No, this was like towards the end of 2022.
Yeah. So you bought a condo. Yeah. You put now. Does she have a problem with the fact that you own the condo, and does she have to pay rent, or
does she have a choice?
The paying the rent is a very loose term. She pays what they can afford to pay, which is not the rent. It's a quarter of the rent.
Right. So it's costing you, quite a bit a month to keep her out of your house. But
probably money well spent.
The best money I've ever spent in my life.
Right. And at the end of the day, long term, it's an investment.
And yeah, I'm not going to lose out on the deal.
I'm sure you bought it right. I'm sure.
Yeah. No, we got a decent deal on it. It's a good situation.
Is it far away?
Long term.
Is it far away?
It's just far away enough that
30 minutes.
No. It's not that far away.
Oh.
Because Steph is still worried about her parents.
15
and their
minutes,
health.
20 minutes?
It's about 7 minutes.
Yeah. Oh,
that's the next neighborhood over?
It's not very far.
That's too close.
Right. Can they drive?
Yeah, one of them still. And she still can.
Not when Brian Ice.
She drives me
not
crazy.
When Brian Ice,
like no one else.
I was going to say not when Brian Ice picks the sidewalls of their tires.
Right.
No. I'd end up paying for the new tires.
You're the man, Bubba.
I'm all about Bubba the Love Sponge.
Non-stop. Just love you, Bubba. Keep it going.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Hey, we'll be right back.
My wife was kind of blinded because of her relationship with her mom. And,
She's an only child.
But her sister's like 10 years old. So she grew up a lot without a sibling in the house. But this kind of turned her on to the real person her mom is. And so that's actually painful for her because this illusion of a woman that she grew up with is not...
Did she change? She probably changed with age, though.
A little. It didn't change. People don't change. They just become a more...
like uninhibited?
Yeah, I was going to say the trappings are removed over time,
They care less about their reputation.
They're more revealed, yeah. And so this is who she's always been. And I think my wife understands that.
She doesn't have dementia or anything.
Not yet, no. But yeah, so my wife is at the point now where she's like, yeah, this is who my mom is. And so we, don't deal with her as much. Only when we have to. And
does she come over a lot?
Not a lot, no.
You see her Christmas though, right?
She doesn't like coming. Well, that's it. She hates my mother-in-law hates my parents too.
Oh.
So that was really the big problem originally.
What was her reason for
Because she is so type A and my parents are so type B, and
those two pair well.
It does.
It's when you have two type A.
It does a little bit.
I think we do it. I think the next roast is your family.
Well, I'll roast them all, but
there you go, Bubba.
But it didn't work because she's so overly type A that even a type B could not put up with her. That's how type A she is.
You have to be.
This is okay. I'll give you some example. I spent a Saturday cleaning and rearranging my garage. Okay, well, one weekend. Just fixing it, getting everything where I wanted it. By Tuesday, that bitch had rearranged half of what I rearranged in the garage after I spent all my time doing it. And it's not even her stuff that she's moving around. And it's just because she has to be in control. She has to be. She is incapable of functioning when she does not feel like she is in control.
That explains why your father-in-law drinks.
Well, yeah. I mean, part of the reason why.
There's a lot of layers there.
He's got childhood issues and all of that. I mean, he's been an alcoholic since 16.
Does your wife have any of your mother-in-law's tendencies, or?
No. She is the example of growing up to be the opposite of what you see. And I think subconsciously she saw it. I don't think she was fully aware of it, but she knew the embarrassing traits of her. I mean, her mom is shameless too. Like, she will go to, like, we went one time and I fucking let her have it. She's the type of woman who will try and change price tags on things. She will stack luggage inside a luggage and then roll it up to the register and try and only pay for the one piece of luggage.
Oh, she's that kind of. She's like a con.
Oh yeah. She's always looking for an angle.
So she loves self-checkout then.
So hold on. So she's always looking for like a con.
She's always looking for the con.
Yep.
She's always looking for a way to get over. Like, here's a perfect example of my mother-in-law's mindset. We went and bought a Christmas tree. My wife's rule is if she's gonna live in Florida, she has to have a live tree every year.
Sure. Okay. No problem.
I'm like, whatever. That's fine. And so we get the Christmas tree, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
That's a whole that's a process in itself, picking it out.
Oh yeah, but it's fun. Our daughter enjoys it, So we get it. We get it home, and we wake up in the morning, and it was a little bit crooked. So we have one of those Christmas tree stands. So we just kind of straighten it out and tighten it up. Well,
let's kind of shimmy it up a little bit.
Right. Unbeknownst to us, it resulted in cracking up the tree, the base of the
trunk.
Tree, the trunk almost 1.5 feet. And so the tree started looking bad, and it wasn't drinking after the first night.
Right.
So I'm like, shit. So I was like, let's try and salvage this. So we ended up cutting off. It was a big tree. It was like a 10-footer. So now it's like 7 foot. But I cut off the excess, the damaged part, the damaged part, and put it back in.
Right. So by the way, that's a lot of work in itself.
Oh yeah, that was.
Don't think that's not a fucking all afternoon fucking ordeal.
Well, I
mean, taking the lights off.
No, we didn't put the lights on the tree yet.
Oh, okay.
We waited 2 days.
To let it settle?
Just to let it settle, yeah.
Right, that's a good call, because Bubba Clem starts decorating immediately.
Yeah, well, my wife wanted to, and I'm like, no, we're going to wait. And so it did work out from that standpoint. So I had to go do some repairs at the condo. So we went and we saw my mother-in-law this weekend. And so my wife tells her the story about the tree. And she's like, well, call the tree place and get them to replace it.
No.
And I said, why would we do that? It's our fault. We put it into the stand. We straightened it. That caused the.
She was trying to con on the deal.
That's her mindset. Nothing is ever her fault or her problem. Somebody else has to deal with it. She is the worst. She has like all the worst tendencies of boomers are magnified in her.
Where are they from? Where's she from?
New York City.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Right there. You didn't just drop the mic.
She's Polish.
She's the typical New Yorker.
She's the typical Polak too.
Well, let's not get. There's probably some Polish people.
Yeah, Brian. There's some nice Polak people out there. Okay.
There's nice ones, and then there's mean ones, and I got a mean one.
I mean, we're not doing Polak jokes. We should do Polak jokes.
She's got her moments. She has AFib, so, and she has some slight circulatory issues in her legs, but otherwise nothing else that we know of. So, I'm not wishing death on anybody, but
Can I borrow her?
It'd be nice.
Brian?
What?
I want to borrow her.
You can have her.
mysteries looming up out of the time fog.
Lost somewhere between fiction and reality.
Madness that made no sense at all.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Lummy, I don't think I put a link for the new backpacks on our. I think I did. I'm sorry. I think I did a link for our backpacks, but I didn't do a link for our new, our.
No, you have not.
Tacticals.
No.
The tactical bags that we sold about 2 months ago. We sold so many of them so quickly. And again, this has got like a front pouch where you can put your phone, your glasses, your wallet. And then it's on the back, it's conveniently got this little flap with a button where you put your gun. So you can roll around with your gun that goes over your shoulder, like a little shoulder, like a man bag. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah.
Like boom.
A verse.
Yeah. But you got your gun with you. And that's available at Bubba Army Store, Bubba Army Shop, BubbaArmyMerch.com. Lummy, we have them in the original snakeskin camo deal,
nice.
And then we just got all black ones too, because there were some people saying, "Hey,
I can't find my camo one. Where is it? It's blending in."
My black one. So Lummy, I'll get the Merch Crick to send me a link to that, and then I'll send it to you and Anna to get up.
Okay.
Not a lot of those left, but they're selling out quite quickly. It sounds like Brian is. I think Brian is going to be the one that steals the show at the roast.
We'll see.
In my opinion,
I think so too.
I'm working on some things, some special stuff.
I really think.
Are there going to be audio video capabilities at the show? Let me ask that question first.
Let me see. I don't. Rhett and or Mach. You mean you want to give
there may be a video I want to play
At the roast?
Yes.
Yes, as long as we get it on Bubba's computer where we're going to be playing all the other videos.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
So as long as you get it to them in a couple days before. Don't roll in night of the roast.
No.
Right. So, Brian, now today's after show, Lummy, I'm going to make it a podcast only show.
Okay.
If you happen to know how to find us on Locals, you could maybe watch it, but for the most part, it's a podcast only show, and I know that you can't make it.
Yeah.
You have obligations with your father.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And so that's just
everything okay?
Yeah, he just needs help. He's
okay.
Old.
I know.
He's not as bad as your mother-in-law.
All right, so you thought that I was going to do a podcast-only Killer Bees
Correct.
deal. I forgot to ask Britt. He probably would have been here, but it's going to be me and Brian. And then Rhett, I don't know if you wanted to stick around. And then Anna was like, if it's me and Brian, we may get a little sportsy, and if you wanted to leave, if you wanted to
I don't know.
What do you mean? What do you mean you don't know?
When you say if you want to leave, then that I don't know.
Would you rather me? Let me ask you a question, and I want you to be honest. Would you rather me just tell you what I would like? Or
when you just tell me when you don't give me an option.
See, I can't win with you. If I make it your choice, then you think that's too much pressure.
Well, here's the thing. I thought you were doing Killer
Bees.
Well, here's the thing. I thought you were doing Killer Bees with Brian and Brent. If Brent's not here, I thought you were just going to go, "Hey, I'm just doing a show with Brian. Everyone else leave."
Hold on though. So you had already anticipated not being on the after
show, right? Because I know that Wednesdays is the sports show, and Thursdays.
Then you're not on it.
Okay.
No, I'm saying you didn't think you were going to be on it anyway.
No, I did not.
So let's just keep it that way, regardless of who ends up doing the show.
Okay.
You didn't have it figured in. See, Brian, she gets so freaked out if you just say.
I don't blame her.
I mean, you don't blame her.
Well,
I'm number
she's
4.
Number 4. This is her livelihood.
He makes some interesting good points.
She already feels on edge. There's the Seth factor looming over her. That's probably a little scary for her.
Lana, we love being transparent. Are you a little bit nervous about Seth?
I've been reading Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, and that's really been helping me, not just with the Seth thing, but other issues in my life as well. So
but that's
I'm
not
really
the question.
I understand. I'm going to get to the question.
Thank you.
I'm just saying that I'm preparing.
Thank you, counselor.
I'm preparing, and I'm trying to really embody more of a stoic philosophy to my life. But yes, Seth coming back, I will say it makes me uneasy, but you got to just deal with uneasy things in life.
What do you mean it makes you uneasy?
I mean,
he's not going to roll up in here and start cutting promos on you or nothing.
Well,
I think she's more worried about the
uneasy.
behind-the-scenes stuff. If he wants more of a role, where's it going to come from?
Well,
It's definitely not going to be Dan. It's not going to be Lummy.
It's not going to be her.
So whose microphone then is he invading? I'm just I'm just thinking out loud. I could be wrong about these things.
Seth has tried to out me before. You understand that, right, Bubba?
No.
Well, you were the one that told me, so that's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, you were the one that told me. Everyone's
Well,
doing
he's not
someone
the
else.
best, okay?
Let me
He lies.
tell him I lie for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, he lies for entertainment purposes.
Sometimes he does it just keep you on your toes.
Yeah,
you know.
Let me say I lie for entertainment purposes.
He lies for entertainment purposes.
It was
doesn't-
confirmed by multiple sources.
Well, I know at least one source that would have confirmed it.
Yes.
Pillow talk.
Okay, so so there's that aspect to it, and it makes me a little uneasy, is what I would say.
Oh Jesus, you have nothing to worry about, please. Because and listen, you can say what you want and have all these conspiracy theories and be nervous and think this, but I have always upheld my word with you, always. Right? Am I not right?
Yes.
I've never ever misled you or told you something that didn't work out or just I've always held my word business wise. I've always held my word with you.
Absolutely, but I just feel like sometimes.
So my word to you now, now, this is my word to you publicly. This is my word to you, which even should insulate it even further.
Mark the tape.
You don't have anything to worry about.
Okay, I appreciate that.
You are that is your chair. That is your spot. 6 to 10, and on various after shows, including but not limited to your own show on Friday. Nothing of that is changing. None of it. Now, who sits beside you to your right can fluctuate.
I understand.
But
that's fine.
But nobody's taking that chair. Nobody. That's yours. 6 to 10, Monday through Fridays. Fridays, your own show.
Mm-hmm.
Mondays, the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesdays,
the after show.
The after show. Wednesday, you're gone because the sports guys come in.
Right.
And Thursdays,
we mostly ask you not to ruin our flow here.
Yeah. Thursdays on Thursdays, no after show.
And just understand that everything Bubba just said is always subject to immediately changing at the drop of a dime.
No, but that's how
I feel like you. Never mind.
No,
say how you feel.
If you
don't hold
say
back.
If you don't say it, then I don't have a way to know it.
Do you want to know it?
Well, how bad is it?
It's not that bad. I just think that under some conditions, because I feel like the only predictable thing about you is that you're unpredictable. You know that, right? Depends on the day, if you've had sleep. And we are all unpredictable in some regard, but I feel like you especially, it's hard for me to predict how you're going to react to a certain thing on a given day. I just feel like sometimes, depending on who you talk to, not that you're easily persuaded to do something like that, but I also know that Seth is quite persuasive when he has an agenda about something.
And here's Seth.
And when you and him are alone, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I feel like sometimes you're able to be persuaded by somebody else if they make a, in your estimation, a what's the word? Like a cogent argument for something that's compelling to do, to try.
You're wrong because you're still here.
Because I don't even watch Kojak, so the joke's on you.
No,
I'm still here because Seth quit.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
Because I've had several people, say, man, you need to get, Anna, you need to get rid of Anna. That happens all the time.
All the time.
I feel so much better.
Well, you're still here.
I know.
I think
So
that should actually
to...
make you feel better.
Yeah,
he's not easily swayed.
No,
understood.
I'm ride or die with you. I've had all types of from fans,
Lummy, Rhett,
from fans fans.
I've never said to get rid of.
Hold on, from fans
I've never once said it.
to employees. From fans to employees to trolls to haters to everybody. I've had, you're the fourth most hated person.
Understood.
Okay. And so you're polarizing.
Yes.
But I am the kind of guy that knows, I have a pro wrestling type boss mentality where I need bad guys and good guys. As bad of a guy as you are makes Lummy that much better.
Yes.
Lummy wouldn't be
Binary
as
opposites.
big. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of showbiz in our show.
Yeah.
And having a bad guy and having a good guy and having the ringmaster of it all, that's the puppeteer, if you will, me, and bringing in different personalities. Dan's opposite of Brian. You know, Seth, I always thought that him and I had a good chemistry. So the majority of
that's undeniable.
So the majority of what Seth is going to do outside of Wednesdays is with me via podcasting. That's what I'm really going to have him concentrate on. Coming up with some more original podcasting stuff.
I will say that what I love about the Seth dynamic with you, Bubba, is that you take him so far out of his comfort zone, and he does not usually function well in his life.
Right.
When he's out, and you take him so far outside of it and force him into this area where he's uncomfortable that it makes for compelling radio.
And so, Anna, it has nothing to do with you, because if I listen to the naysayers, or I thought that being the fourth most hated person in the history of the show meant,
as voted by Bubba, by the way.
Well, no, I mean, I think we kind of uniformly like went to chat. I mean, like I think we all agreed on that.
Yeah, even I wouldn't contest that. Yes.
And so
I would think that Tuttle was hated a little more than you, quite honestly.
Thank you so much.
Okay, whatever.
I'm
bringing him back too.
And SBK.
In fact, all of the most hated lists are welcome back on my show anytime. I'll take your call.
Tuttle, I'm thinking about warming in on some Fridays. You know, I got a lot of people.
Of Dan not being here.
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, listen.
I don't know.
I'm game.
The only thing I know is this. This is what I know. One, your world doesn't change one bit. Not one bit. Other than probably the only change in your world is that you probably won't be doing a Thursday after show. That's it.
I'm not doing a Thursday after show now.
I know. So that's what I'm saying.
So
nothing has changed in your world. Maybe Wednesdays.
I don't do the after show on Wednesdays either.
There you go. So nothing.
Your memories.
No. I no. You're stupid because I brought him up because I knew the answer
he's showing,
to him.
Yeah, he's making you highlight. It's genius. It's actually genius.
Yeah,
it's a 109 move right there. That's a 109 move.
That's
See,
139.
Another thing that I do is so brilliant, and I told Randy from Skag this. And now Randy from Skag is probably one of the nicest guys I know, probably one of the most motivated CEOs, like the motivation of he can motivate people and get the best out of them. He's so fair. He's so kind. He's just so nice. He's the CEO of Metal. Is it Metalworks? No, it's Metalcraft of Maryville, Wisconsin. So I saw him in at the U.S. Nationals. And I send them air checks, Lummy, a lot of times of me talking about Skag.
Of course.
Well, but a lot of times when I'm talking about Skag is I don't know, I'm not correct. And so, like, I'll say something, and then you'll have to come back and correct me, right?
Yeah.
And then, but we eventually get the correct information out, but it's kind of a long journey and a long path because I've messed it up 3 times prior, right? So Randy's like, you know what? I need to really have you learn the product a little bit better so you don't mess up so much on the air. And I go, Randy, that's one way of looking at it. But you know how I look at it? If I mess it up 3 times, I have to get corrected twice. It's that much more real estate for your product. And
helps the listener remember as well.
And it's far more organic and less contrived and pre-read if I organically mess it up and he's like, oh my God.
You're a genius.
He did. And he gave me a free mower.
That's awesome.
So, Anna.
And Dion.
Yeah.
Anna. So I messed those 2 things up on purpose, knowing that you would correct me, reiterating the fact that I do indeed know that nothing changes in your world.
Let
nothing.
me get me that tape so I can send it to Randy, okay?
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Okay.
So I'm just like, nothing changes in your world. Nothing. I give you my word.
Okay.
Like, I give
and
you
I
my
accept
word.
that.
And so, like,
thank you for that.
The only thing that could potentially change is your comfortableness on Wednesday's 6 to 10 show. Because he'll be in here, being Seth.
Is he going to sit here right next to her?
Yep.
That's fine. Listen, I live in a world where I'm constantly uncomfortable. And if I'm too comfortable for too long, I get uncomfortable.
You get soft.
Yeah, that's why I do jujitsu. That's why I push myself and do, the cold plunge, VO2 max, and all that sort of stuff.
I know.
I think it's important
find comfort in being uncomfortable.
Absolutely. I try to live by those David Goggins words,
So let me just ask you this, okay?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I don't want you to give me any more credit than I'm due, but I want the credit if I am due it.
Sure.
This show, since you started working for this program, this show has helped change you and navigate you into a tougher, better person. This show
Without a doubt.
This show helped you change your mind about dating. This show helped you change your mind about MMA and fitness. Not fitness,
sports.
not fitness as far as like
Martial
staying
arts.
in shape, and because
because I was already in
before the show,
great
you'd
shape.
go out and run 6 miles. Like it didn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, but like as far as the brutalness and the mindset that you need to be, to participate in jujitsu.
Yes.
You didn't have that.
No.
That type of aggressiveness in your mind.
Sometimes my own violence shocks me.
I'll say confidence too.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
a confidence thing.
Right.
It's a
Yes.
self-confidence thing.
Like so you don't have anything to worry about. All of what you're worrying about is just in your own little peanut head. Because in my
Sure.
peanut head, nothing changes with you other than the interaction that you're going to have with Seth on Wednesdays, which I think, as the puppeteer of all this nonsense, will be funny and brilliant. And we're having fun again. Like I'm bringing more fun and less uptight rantness and like less, pound our chests for Donald Trumpness.
Right.
I'm intrigued to see how that works because when Seth and Anna were here originally,
Yeah, the
Anna
dynamic
was
is very different.
Anna was in a much different position in the
Right.
show and in her life, and now where she's at, it's almost like she has the upper hand on Seth.
Right, and I'm gonna
And
remind Seth of that too.
It's you got to be careful with that too.
No,
you can't
you
be
don't wanna
threatening
throw up
with
during
it.
the break.
Yeah.
Yes,
I know.
him throwing up during the break, throwing a fit, having a meltdown equals what, Lummy?
Radio Gold.
Good Jesus God.
Well, there's breaking news that you were right about. Sorry.
What?
Tony Stewart to replace wife Leah
What?
Pruitt.
Say slow. Keep it quiet. Just
Tony Stewart to replace wife Leah Pruitt, an NHR dragster, because they're going to have a kid.
I want you to find.
And you called that.
I want you to find that break.
Yep.
My mother-in-law knew she was pregnant.
I want you to find that break. Listen to me.
Yes, I am
That was a
listening.
good callback.
Listen to me.
Yep.
I want you to find that break. I want to make that a short ASAP
All right.
because it's breaking news. And so if you get with Cantrell with a Rhett kicker,
Well, I was
or
gonna. You might know.
have Rhett run
when
point on
was
it.
when was what's his name from Fatheads here?
It's this.
Rico?
I don't know, buddy. I can't do
Rico
all.
when he brought that other
Let
big
me-
guy.
Let me Bernstein, Brian.
Probably about 5 weeks ago. Let me.
Okay.
I can't. You're the show historian. You're asking me what date guys were in here.
Well, because they just had that big thing in Clearwater. I got it.
Figure it out.
I got it.
Figure it out.
Got it.
I want to be on. I mean, I 100% nailed that.
Yes, you did.
Nailed it. And I'd like to make that a short because we would get some traction with that. I'm telling you that right now. So can you guys work on that for me, please?
Yes.
I know your my little elves are back there working on little videos here and there. And Red, I know you cringe every time I throw one of these little projects your ways, but you always nail it out of the park, my friend. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate
I
you.
got it. November 13th.
No they drag turds around a little bit here. They just dry up to be like little Tootsie Rolls. No big deal.
That's right, little purple.
They're not big piles or nothing.
No, they're little. They're tiny.
So today's after show will be Brian and I, Rhett if he'd like to participate, and if Rhett participates, we might go sports, but we might just sit here and BS a little bit, Brian.
Just be a killer bees minus one of the bees.
Yeah, just be like a killer bees. Just whatever. Anna, you're not going to be here.
I'm not invited.
No, you're not. Yes, you're not invited.
Okay.
But
that makes it easier. That makes it easier.
But you weren't invited to begin with.
I understand.
So you can't not be invited when you weren't invited to begin with.
Yeah, it's like we planned a trip and you were never coming with us on the trip, and now one of the guys in the trip can't make the trip. It doesn't mean you're coming on the trip.
Yeah, but now you're bringing another guy on the trip that wasn't on the trip before. So then I'm thinking, like, should I also go on the trip?
What other guy would
Oh,
bring
you
up?
said Rhett's staying in.
Well,
so
if
I'm
he
like, should I
wants.
stay in too? And Lummy would be if he didn't have to
the
leave.
Rhett caveat was if it's going to be a sports show, Rhett's invited. Otherwise, it's just going to be Bubba and I.
Right. And you were never invited to begin with. So that was the best analogy ever. A guy can't make the trip doesn't mean you come pre-packed to work that day thinking that there's going to be a cancellation. You were never invited to begin with. God, you're in your own little peanut head.
Standby.
Yeah, it's not going to be the same trip if I'm there. So.
Phew. So what do you?
I'll let you guys have your.
Well, there's another problem for Macho to fix.
What is that?
Listen to that.
This is the worst day
Poor
for Macho.
Macho.
Hold on. I almost like that effect because it makes it kind of it's
From the control room?
Yeah,
it's from the
is kinda
control
cool.
room.
Yeah.
You're like, hold on, Red, you back in our control room?
Yeah, checking in.
Like if we were calling the engine room from the ship and it was dead quiet, Brian, we'd be like, where aren't the engines?
We're
Are the
in
engines not,
Chernobyl right now.
are the engines not running?
You need a back bed to play of like people doing coal in the background and yelling about fires.
Yeah,
and
exactly. Industrial sounds, right? Because I'm throwing it over to the brains of our operation, Tournament Central. Brian, are you there? Red, hello.
Yeah.
I like it.
The reactor's about to explode.
I like it. Macho's literally ready to kill himself.
I mean, this is only like the 45th thing to go wrong today.
Just don't even worry about
guy.
it. Don't worry about it. I like the somebody's getting shot
like
in the
that.
back. It feels like you're working in an electrical department. So listen, I was all ready to go for the shooter in Las Vegas. I'm sorry,
You're right.
Las Vegas, UNLV. It's 3 staff members of the 3 professors that worked at UNLV, and then it was a guy who had been denied employment at UNLV, and he's the 67-year-old crazy bastard that shot these 3 professors. So I'm all ready to play this story because it's a story, and then I get this pre-roll commercial, and I got through the entire pre-roll, and I want to play this again. So I refreshed my browser so that I would be able to play this. This is what they're coming up with now. This is the new advertising campaign that they got for us Americans. Here you go.
Plan for the unexpected. Use SpikeVax that body. Help stay protected. Deck the halls festive. Always on time. Never miss a gift. Keep the family in line. Plan ahead for the unexpected. 'Tis the season to get vaccinated.
SpikeVax is a vaccine to help protect you against COVID-19. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Rare cases of inflammation of the heart muscle and outer lining have been reported. The most common side effects are injection site pain, redness and swelling, tiredness, headache, muscle pain, chills, joint pain, and fever.
The most common side effects are the effects of the disease.
Hold on. So look at Lummy,
Yes.
Lummy, Madeira, whatever is it?
Moderna.
I'm like Madeira Beach.
Madeira Beach.
Moderna now they're advertising, hey, there's SpikeVax.
I like how they said keep the family in line.
Keep the family in line. SpikeVax. I mean, they're So is this the newest in vaccinations?
Well, that's just they just branded it. They branded it so that they could advertise it. It's a lot better than the COVID-19 vaccine.
SpikeVax. SpikeVax. Is it just the leftover COVID stuff that they relabeled?
It's supposedly the new strain and all of that. Yeah.
But I mean, Brian, supposedly, but do you believe anything the government tells you? It could literally be.
I believe some of the stuff they tell me. It's just hard to sift through what private pharmaceutical companies are telling me too.
So this one's 50-50 at best. Either it is a brand new vaccine that they're really, or it's this old stuff that they're just relabeling.
It's repackaged. Yeah,
we don't know.
Regifting, if you will.
It's the Delta 9 stuff they just had laying around. They're like, man, we can call this SpikeVax, and we can tie it into the holiday season about keeping your family in line and wanting to stay with all you need to get jabbed. That's what we got going on right now.
Are they still free?
SpikeVax.
Are they still free?
I don't know if they're free still.
No, I don't think so.
I think they are.
What was
I
the
feel like
government?
they should be.
I think they are still free.
If they're really trying to sell this, and now you have to buy it too.
Hey, Alexa, how much does the new Spike vaccine cost?
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
Well, according to GoodRx, if you want a coupon, it's $160.
No way for one
the Spike Vax.
So hold on.
Shove it up your.
Now they want us to pay. I wouldn't take it if it was for free.
Right.
Now they're
You couldn't even pay me to take it. Well,
yeah.
You could.
You could pay. You'll do about anything for money. Let's be honest.
It depends how much. It doesn't have to be that much.
Right.
I'd probably do it for $1,000.
If somebody said, "Hey, listen, Anna, $500 if you get the new Spike Vax."
No, it'd be more.
G-ball, it's my highest offer. $1,000 for us to Spike Vax. Yeah.
I'd do for $10,000.
10
$10,000.
Listen, I don't want to get a friggin' congenital heart deal.
You just price yourself out of the market.
Fine. I didn't want to do it anyways.
There has been another shooting, this time in Las Vegas. We're getting just scant evidence right now of just how much shooting was going on here. We do know that the suspected shooter has been, quoting police officials, located and is now deceased. We don't know the number of victims, only that there are multiple victims. This is an active investigation. This occurred just about an hour ago, almost exactly an hour ago. The first.
Now, the one thing I liked about this is I was watching this kind of unfold on the news, Lummy, is that they were interviewing all these hot co-eds.
Oh, yeah.
Because usually when they go to school shootings, it's, usually kids, right?
Yeah, little kids, yeah.
Kids. And even the
adult. Yeah, most school shootings take place where they should be, in elementary schools and middle schools.
Well, I'm just saying. But, in this instance, they had some hot co-eds that if they're at least a freshman at UNLV, Lummy, one would assume that the majority of those people are at least 18.
Yep.
So they had some hot co-eds. I was watching it just for the hot co-eds deal.
We need more of these school campus shootings
being fired at Beam Hall, the home of the lead business school at the University of Las Vegas. We don't know much more than that. We do know that eerily, this is about 3 miles from the site of perhaps one of the worst mass shootings in world history.
Oh, the Mandalay deal.
The 2017 mass shooting at the Route 91 Harvest Musical Festival. 58 people were killed in that one. Hundreds more were wounded. This does not look anything like that.
Was that Mandalay Bay deal?
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest ever, wasn't it? 57 dead.
And so bizarre because they never really came up with a motive. Like, most of these mass shooters, they leave a trail that paints a pretty good picture of why they were doing it, right? And
there was some type of strife in their life that caused them to want to do this, right?
And they kind of alluded at one point to maybe he was having some money, but nothing they came up with, nothing they found on him that they've publicly disclosed made any sense whatsoever.
His wife absconded back to the Philippines. It was a weird story.
It's bizarro world stuff, and it's never been explained. And I'm not saying there's this deep, dark conspiracy with it. It's just really, really, really weird.
He just might happen to be the one guy
outlier.
that was just an outlier, right? That just
or do you think they were trying to conceal something?
But why? What was the end game?
Gun control?
That nothing came of it, though. I would believe it if it was effective. Nothing came of it. Literally nothing came of it. And so,
well, who are the people investigating it? I mean, the FBI.
Yeah, the FBI.
I mean, there you go.
I don't know.
But
I'm just
that's
saying.
my point.
My point is, anytime you get the FBI involved, there's some nonsense going on around here.
I'm fine with the conspiracy theory where the lines all connect in dots. Not we have this random dot at the beginning and this random dot at the end, and we have no idea how they actually connect. But let's go ahead and make that a conspiracy theory.
I don't have a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I don't know. Nothing adds up, so that just goes.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. But it's okay. I'm comfortable saying this doesn't make sense.
Right.
Not jumping to the it must mean this.
I didn't say that.
No, I didn't say you did. I didn't say you did. But that's where
it's curious.
It's curious, and that's the thing. I'm curious about it. It doesn't. It traditionally, and you could be right, Bubba. It could be the one-off, one lunatic mass shooter with no red flags, nothing to indicate that it was coming. Highly unlikely. He had supposedly had scoped out someplace in Chicago, I think, like maybe for
they have a music festival in Grant
Park,
that has a whole bunch of hotels that
all around it.
Right.
I mean, they're sitting ducks there, and the way that music festival's set up, they got him corralled.
He already had that scouted out too,
but he decided not to do it there, and Lollapalooza definitely would have been more deadly than what he ended up doing at Mandalay Bay. But yeah,
how many guns did he sneak up there?
It was a lot,
and then he killed himself. Obviously,
12.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're way late. We'll get into the Las Vegas teacher, UNLV professor. Three killed, and then the perpetrator killed himself. We'll get into that. We'll start peeling that back next.
This has been a long time coming.
There goes another sad participant.
You people are monsters.
The Bubba the Love Sponge show returns after these words.
I know. But do you really believe that?
He's mad that because he had a gambling addiction.
Why am I sore?
He played 6 to 8 hours of video poker.
Yeah, I know, but he still had money. He wasn't like flat out broke.
He said he harbored resentment over how they treated other high rollers.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't.
That's so cast such a wide net that could be 10,000 men in fucking in Las Vegas that are mad that they don't get the fucking treatment that the high rollers get, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the way most gamblers feel, right?
No shit.
I mean, as we're in there fucking sitting there in Jobber Slotville, and then you see the fucking whales over there getting free food and free drinks because they're playing,
free rooms, flights out there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're not the ones that keep Vegas open.
No, our losing asses are the ones that keep Vegas open. The guys that are losing $400 and $500, that's the guys that are keeping it open.
Yep. Not the guy that's going in there and betting 150 grand in a weekend and walking away with 180 of it.
Right.
From the casino.
And his room and his
flight.
Food.
Yep.
And his fucking entertainment and his flight and everything was prepaid for. So the casino's down, fucking $215,000 on the dude.
Well, down is a relative thing. That's the interesting thing with hotel rooms that are open is, are you really losing money if you're giving it away? Yes, you have the cost of housekeeping and staffing, but
yes, if you would have been able to sell that room.
That's the thing. If you were going to sell out that weekend, that's a different story. But if it was a non-sellout weekend, it's really not costing.
The room's a push.
The room's a push. The show tickets, if you haven't sold out that show and you've got plenty of tickets to give away,
right? That's a push.
That's a push. The food cost is minimal. The drink costs, okay.
That's even more minimal.
Yeah, but
you got higher margins on alcohol than you do food.
Yep.
Meaning, like that $15 cocktail you gave to them for free, you got about $1 in it.
If that. Yeah.
Right. That's including the waitress's pay getting it to them.
Yeah.
Then that fucking lobster, that $500 dinner he had in his suite last night, lobster, you probably got $50 in that.
Yeah.
So you're right. Like, you can really inflate the value of what you're giving him compared to the value of what he's giving you. He's giving you, he's risked. Like when I would go with Fabrizi, the way they figure comps would be not how much you won or lost, but how much your average bet was for how long.
Yeah.
Because they have an equation that if you gamble for a certain amount of time, you're going to lose.
Yeah, it takes away the variance.
Right.
So the house.
So like
Fabrizi,
we got. You wouldn't believe the VIP because Fabrizi was a big fucking. This was his numbers. He had an $1,800 a hand average. And he spent 8 to 9 hours a day gambling.
Did he have markers at the casino?
Oh fuck yeah, 50, 80, 100.
You can't carry that cash with you.
No, but so his numbers would be $1,800 an hour for 8 hours.
Oh, today's the last day to vote for Maria Guatemala.
Oh yeah, we get that in there. Let's make sure we push that.
Okay. Yep, I'm on it. I'll write it down now. Hey, and also we need some money, please. It's Thursday and we need money.
And so, Brian, we kind of need to dispel.
I am the money repellent. Dispel the myth that
we need to dispel the myth that you're a money repellent.
We had 2 earlier, like 25 and 50 or whatever. We had like 1 horn ring, but
you're a great content provider, but you are a money repellent.
Yeah.
People don't break out their wallets with you at all.
Nope.
Which
you know what it is? They're too into the show that they forget to do it.
It's hypnotic.
Where Dan's on, it's easy to be like, okay, like sort of half listen in between him bragging about how awesome he is. It's so it gives them more time to donate.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, Holyoke Joe is really insistent that I autograph a tactical bag for him.
Yeah, I think Merch Crick's got it or something.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was a joke at first, but now that I know that it's real, I'll definitely do that.
No,
he's
a supermarket.
I love it.
Merch Crick's organizing it all.
And his favorite person is me, so it would make sense that his next favorite person would be you.
Yeah, kind of. You know what? Yeah.
I'm gonna call you
Joe the Supermarket knows how to work, so he likes the heels.
Mm-hmm.
Joe the Supermarket appreciates a good heel.
Absolutely. Big wrestling fan. You know the heels make the show. Babies they don't do shit in wrestling.
No, the baby's only as good as the heel.
Yep.
The heel is what makes the baby.
So really, Anna should have the belt then because Lummy.
Let's not get fucking
Lummy's a
crazy.
baby, and it's easy to be a baby.
Heels, hey, it's very rare for a heel to have the belt though. So
I don't want to
That's
check
true.
people.
I mean, you only usually give the heel the belt for a short time, so you can put it back on a baby.
Yeah, it's
usually the heel
pay-per-views.
And then usually the heel never gets it clean. It's always a fuck job. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Well, Hogan never lost a clean pin in his career.
Right.
Which is ridiculous.
But so like the only way the Anna would get the belt would be like on a fuck job or lump me.
I like you. Do you like me? All gimmicks, willies, Joneses, McGillicuddies, shenanigans, hickeys, and bamboozles are property of Bubba the Love Sponge Enterprises. Great success! All violations will be dealt with swiftly and painfully. You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
High five.
Lummy, do we got the engine room working on the Tony Stewart prediction?
Yes, we do.
I hope so. We all have a heartfelt reason to support our blood pressure. In fact, more than half of the U.S. population would benefit from blood pressure support. Paired with a healthy lifestyle, the antioxidants in Super Beets are clinically shown to be nearly 2 times more effective at promoting normal blood pressure than a healthy lifestyle alone. 30,000 5-star reviews and counting. Super Beet Heart Chews are plant-based, and they're easy to add to your routine. No pills to swallow, no ingredients to mix or prepare. Super Beet Heart Chews support healthy circulation, so you not only get the blood pressure support, but you also get productive heart health energy without the crash. Support your heart health with Super Beet Heart Chews. Get a free 30-day supply of Super Beet Heart Chews and a free full-size bag of what, Lummy?
Turmeric.
Thank you. That's valued at $25. It starts and stops by going to BubbaLovesBeats.com. Get this exclusive offer only at BubbaLovesBeats, BEETS.com. Lummy, I think we kind of need to make a bigger deal about me making that prediction about Tony Stewart.
Oh, of course.
What day was that?
So I got an updated one from
Little
Purple. I got to give props to Little Purple jersey.
Okay.
He November 13th is when he said it, and we have the exact time too.
Oh, wonderful.
Well, and what did I? And I think I said something like, "Let me tell you about Tony. His next deal is going to be." He tells Leah, "You're pregnant with my baby, and I'm taking over your Top Fuel ride."
Yes.
And then Rico chimed in. I forget. Rico chimed in something about go get your own sponsors, bitch, or something like that. Yeah. I'm gonna call Tony live right now.
Awesome.
He probably won't answer. We'll see. And I know he has the sound bite because I sent it to him.
Forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message.
Straight chuck.
When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hey, it's your friend Bubba, fellow Hoosier, the guy that got you in radio. I did cut your first serious deal. You know that. You would admit that. Come on, buddy. Us Hoosiers got to stick together. I'm live on my show. I never cold call you ever. I never bug you. I never ask for much. We're true friends. But that being said, I was going to hope that I could bask in the glory of some way, shape, or form by getting you on the air and you saying, Bubba, you called it when it comes to me getting Leah my beautiful wife, Leah, pregnant, me taking her ride and her having a baby. Bitch, you know that.
How about congratulations?
Oh, yeah. I'm so. Hey, Smoke, it's Bubba. Congratulations on your new upcoming child and your new ride that you own. So It would have been so great, Tony, to get you on Big Time Superstar and validate that indeed I made that prediction, and I had Brandon Bernstein and Rico from Fatheads in here. Rico did some little, remember he had like a little smart-ass zinger, and then we went right into commercials. And then remember, Tony, I emailed that to you, and you even played it for Leah, and you texted me back that you guys got a good joke out of it. But you were probably trying to make your baby right then and there, right now as we speak. I was just trying to get some validation so I could go viral, Tony.
And now he's going to win Top Fuel next year.
Now he's going to win the Top Fuel, and I called it.
I think he has to name the baby Bubba. I mean,
no, please don't get him, please.
Little Bubba Stewart.
The last thing Tony's going to name this kid is Bubba Stewart. No way. Tony, text me later. I hope you're not mad. I know it's way. I mean, you usually don't get up till about 1 or 2.
Oh.
But call me back. See you later. I love you. Bye. See you.
PRI show started today in Indy. You think he's there?
We calling a different number?
No, I'm trying to make it do something like hit 1, hit 2.
I don't think they give you that option.
Hang up.
I heard all that.
Bitch, I called it.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm going to call Rico from Fatheads.
Keep being just Rico a little yenta. I love it.
I am being a little yenta. Because Rico might be with him. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Rico.
It's 8:30 there right now, right?
No, I think it's Eastern time. It's in Indiana, right?
Yeah, I think it is.
Eastern time.
It is 8:30 their time. Maybe, perhaps. Now, Rico won't chuck me to the weeds. This is my boy.
Wait, Indiana's a state that doesn't participate, right?
In a lot of things, including education.
Arizona is.
Oh. No, it's Eastern in Indiana, but it's Central in Evansville.
There's a part.
Yeah.
There's a part.
Indianapolis is Eastern.
Yeah, it's Eastern. There's like one little sliver of Indiana that's still.
You've reached Rico. Please leave your.
Rico,
oh man,
Jesus.
I thought these guys were supposed to be your friends. Just text them, hey.
I thought you were my friend.
At the tone, please record your message.
Hey.
When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Rico. So I called Tony earlier, got chucked to voicemail. I'm thinking my one buddy who's going to take my phone call so that we can gloat that you and I and Brandon Bernstein were the very first people that said Tony's going to get Leah pregnant, his wife, and he's going to take her ride. It ended up being a big high spot, and you were in here and you had one of the funny lines. And now you don't even answer the phone when it's ready to give me an attaboy. You son of a bitch. Just like when you made me sleep on your couch. Where are you to validate my story? We could go viral, Rico. Fathead son of a bitch. Call me back, Rico.
If you're satisfied with the message, press 1. To listen to your message, press 2. To message review.
Rico. So I called Tony earlier, got chucked to voicemail. I'm thinking my one buddy who's going to take my phone call so that we can gloat that you and I and Brandon Bernstein were the very first people that said Tony's going to get Leah pregnant, his wife, and he's going to take her ride. It ended up being a big high spot, and you were in here and you had one of the funny lines. And now you don't even answer the phone when it's ready to give me an attaboy. You son of a bitch. Just like when you made me sleep on your couch. Where are you to validate my story? We could go viral, Rico. Fathead son of a bitch. Call me back, Rico.
If you're satisfied with the message, press 1. To send your message.
There's only one other person I could call to maybe get a little bit of information about this. Well, not Sumo.
Oh.
Gooch.
Oh,
See, don't forget, Gooch works for Tony, but he might be afraid to he may be afraid to let loose on this deal.
You think Tony put out "Don't pick up Bubba's call"?
No, Tony's dead to the world right now. Actually, he's in Indianapolis right now, getting ready to. He's probably at the PRI convention, on stage somewhere with one of his sponsors. But Gooch listens to the show, Lummy.
Yes.
Gooch listens to the show, so he might be able to validate it. Wow.
At the tone, please record your message.
I don't know if this is Gooch's number.
Hang up or press
we've
1
heard that
for
before.
more options.
Hey, Cooch, was that Sawyer when he was like 6 months old? I'm a little confused. I was trying to call you, buddy, because I know you listen to the show every day. Am I not the one that predicted Leah gets pregnant, Tony takes the ride? And then I had Rico and Brandon Bernstein in here for the high spot. Did I not? Come on, validate me, buddy. I want to go viral on this deal.
Come on, Big Gooch.
Come on, Big Gooch. Gas can carrying, strong, mean-ass son of a bitch. Maybe I should stop calling people son of a bitches.
It's your way of,
I love you, Gooch.
Endearment.
Bye now.
If you're satisfied with the message, press 1. To listen to your message, press 2.
I always listen. I'm narcissistic.
Hey, Cooch, was that Sawyer when he was like 6 months old? I'm a little confused. I was trying to call you, buddy, because I know you listen to the show every day. Am I not the one that predicted Leah gets pregnant, Tony takes the ride? Then I had Rico and Brandon Bernstein in here for the high spot. Did I not? Come on, validate me, buddy. I want to go viral on this deal.
Come on, Big Gooch.
Come on, Big Gooch. Gas can carrying, strong, mean-ass son of a bitch. Maybe I should stop calling people son of a bitch.
Go with that.
So your way of,
I love you, Gooch.
Endearment.
Bye now.
If you're satisfied with the message, press 1. To send your message.
There you go. So, what's the actual breaking news say? Can you tell me?
Well, I've been looking up different articles. It says Leah Pruitt will step away from the NHRA drag racing series in 2024 to focus on starting a family with Tony Stewart. Now, that's on ESPN. There have been some other reports that Leah Pruitt is pregnant, which is why she's stepping away to start a family. So,
now, Tony did release a statement of his own.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he said, when your wife wants to try to start a family and wants you to drive her race car, what are you going to say? I'm really proud of Leah Pruitt and excited that we're going to focus on starting a family in 2024. I'm very humbled that Leah and Neil Strasbaugh felt I was the driver to fill in for her. I'm excited for the opportunity and to do it with our racing family at TSR Nitro.
There you go. Well, that's the official, but how about the prediction of the official?
That's you.
That's you, Bubba. Say it. Say it. Say it, Lummy.
Say it.
Say it.
Say it, Bubba.
Beepers.
Beepers. What?
Beepers, Bubba. Beepers.
Bubba called it.
Bubba called it.
Is the tapes team working on it?
Oh, yeah. We're way ahead of that.
Okay.
You don't understand a word I'm saying, do you?
Don't work yourself into a Mark Lather. Mark Lather.
Don't talk. You just make it worse. I don't want to cry and wet my pants.
It's not very becoming.
Where's that guy with the stick?
The Bubba the Love Sponge show returns after these words.
Attitude makes her from a 9 to a 10.
She's like, I mean, I know she's all done up there, but she's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
her is fucking amazing, bitch.
She goes out and does cross fitness and climbs ropes.
Oh, you can tell. She's
yeah.
fucking, like,
If you look, type in her at the gym, like Leah Pruitt.
Yeah, she's in great shape.
At the gym, her and Matt Hagan go to the gym, and
They're saying Hot Mike is silent.
Oh, we're talking, baby.
No, they're saying that it's silent Mike. No Hot Mike.
Don't make me laugh over your dumb joke.
Boring time.
Oh, I see what they did there.
What?
It's
back. Good news, it's back.
You know, you just utilize the stuff. You utilize.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that dress hides his tininess.
Okay.
Come on over, tiny driver.
Count the headlights on the what is it? The trackway.
There's no headlights on the track. There's stickers. No, you got to put on there though. But Brian's mother-in-law got it before him.
She do.
Yep, she did.
I don't want to have. If you want to fucking equalize that bitch out, let me fucking spend some time with her.
Yeah, Bubba always makes things better.
Yeah.
I will have that bitch. I will have that bitch.
He'll make it work.
I will have that bitch ripped into shape.
I mean, Bubba called it every way too. He said they're either gonna try to start a family and Tony will take it over, or she's gonna get pregnant and he's gonna take over. So
yep,
comes fast in all ways.
Yeah.
He was gonna take it over no matter what after you. And Bubba even said it would be after this year.
Yeah. Sooner we can get the tapes team on that. Sooner we can get the tapes. Bubba predicted it. Bubba called it.
This is hot breaking news. This
I hope our tape team.
One that puts us over the top.
I hope our tape team knows how valuable this is.
Oh, they do.
I hope our tape team knows how time sensitive this is, Lover.
Of course.
Do you know how happy it would be if Bubba got this up in the next 20 minutes?
Oh, it won't be up for the next 20 minutes. It won't get up till tomorrow. There's a lot of moving parts, Brian.
Parts, pieces.
You gotta know the business.
I don't know the business. Like editing.
That'd be like me walking into your office and say, I want a lawsuit filed tomorrow.
And that could happen.
Not really.
Absolutely.
Not if it was involving a whole bunch of moving parts and shit like that.
Depends. Throw a few extra more bucks, guys. Just
let me make sure we do a Maria Guatemala shout out.
Okay.
Is it today the last day of voting?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, is it still 2-for-1 votes, or is that only like the day before last?
It's from 5 to 6 on Mondays.
So that's over.
2-for-1 votes. Voting happy hour. GreatestBaker.com. Vote verified. 2023. Maria McDonald. I keep forgetting I gotta vote some more.
Please don't Michael McDonald. Stop. I have to listen to that shit about.
I keep forgetting she's the greatest baker in the world.
Ah.
I love her minions. Cake, it looks so yummy. I can't believe it's made of fondant. Michael McDonald's the fucking worst. He plays a lot in your house? You have no control over that?
No. Every time when I try to say Alexa, someone chimes in, play Michael McDonald.
Does he do it as a riff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, at least twice a week.
What a fool believes.
Shut the fuck. Man, Brian is on fire today.
Attention, people of Earth.
Don't forget, Lummy, I need those bumpers from all staff employees.
Monday.
By Monday. Monday by the start of the show. Lummy, please.
No problem.
A list of ins and outs that because I'm paying this female voice woman to do some ins and outs, and heavily promoting Bubba Army HQ.
Lindsay, Lindsay Funk 50.
Bubba the boys will be back in a little bit, but make sure you check out Bubba Army HQ. In the meantime, everything Bubba. Back to Bubba the Love Sponge show next. Let me write this down. $250 on the PayPal. Are you kidding me on that deal?
Thank you. 250.
Just when you thought Brian was the money repellent, he comes in. Nobody is from the Tony Stewart camp has returned my texts. Does it make me very happy?
Did you say hey?
T-shirt Will 50 on the Cash App.
Just text them hey.
You know what? You got me distracted on that because I was going to explain to you why I say hey.
That's the way we started the show. It'd be a good way to end it. But first, you got to go on and vote for Maria Guatemala's cakes.
Maria Guatemala.
Cake.
Maria Guatemala. What is it? The best baker? What is
the
it?
Greatest baker.
Baker.com.
greatestbaker.com/vote/verified/2023/Maria-McDonald MC Donald.
Or you can go to our Facebook, our X, our Instagram, and find the link and vote. And you're allowed to vote once a day, but today is the last day, correct?
And
for round one?
Yes. Use promo code Bubba when you vote, too, so they know where you came from.
I forget. I had a whole big thing about why hey is really the coolest way to do it. You got me saying when I text people hey that I loop them in and I automatically get them to have to engage. But there was a technique that I had on the tip of my brain, my 109 educated brain, on the tip of my 109, explaining why the hay deal was actually quite brilliant.
That's why I drink 409 because I'm trying to get my IQ up.
Let me get Mason on the phone and tell him. I got a real modern day zookeeper here. Rob Green, 200.
Nice.
Oh my God! People opening up their love and their wallets for Brian the Babyface Matroni.
They had all that downtime during the Tony Stewart talk.
You don't think that was relevant? The fact that I predicted this very same thing was going to happen a month ago? You don't think that was relevant?
No, I'm teasing.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
I think that's what brought the money in, right?
Probably.
Yeah. Not you, Bubba.
Not you, Bubba?
Shooting this time in Las Vegas. We're getting just scant evidence right now of just how much shooting was going on here. We do know that the suspected shooter has been, quoting police officials, located and is now deceased. We don't know the number of victims, only that there are multiple victims. This is an active investigation. This occurred just about an hour ago, almost exactly an hour ago. The first reports of shots being fired at Beam Hall, the home of the Lee Business School at the University of Las Vegas here. We don't know much more than that. We do know that eerily this is about 3 miles from the site of perhaps one of the worst mass shootings in world history, the 2017 mass shooting at
Blair Witch, 25 of the Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, all at the Bubba Army, and he wanted to
Merch Creek Mafia.
Specifically say Merch Creek Mafia.
Yep.
Don't forget, I'll have links up to the new. See, I mean, you're going to college, UNLV.
John Costeca, $100.
What a tie-in.
Venmo.
Thank you, John Costeca, my little fellow. You're going to UNLV. You're going there and the business school. Next thing you know, this guy who didn't get a job, 67-year-old white crazy bastard, breaks out his gun to shoot 3 professors. You got yours right here. Bam, bam. It's as easy as this. Bam, bam, bam. Only if you have your handy-dandy Bubba Army backpack. I'm sorry, tactical bag. Not to be confused with the backpacks that we had, Lummy, that we sold out in a day and a half. I just ordered 200 more of them.
Sweet.
But they're going to have a red logo and not a white one. We won't get them till mid-January. But backpacks are backpacks.
That's right.
Brian, you're not a backpack guy, are you? I don't think you're either a tactical guy or a backpack guy.
I don't mind a backpack. I'll be traveling light one day over December, and I'll be bringing a backpack because I'm flying Spirit, and I don't pay them any money for luggage.
Do you have a specific backpack?
I mean, I have a backpack. It's specifically that backpack.
Would you, like, if you got a brand new one, If you got a brand new Bubba Army backpack, would that be something you carry, or are you ashamed of the logo?
I wouldn't be ashamed. Oh, I'm wearing it on my heart.
You're wearing it. Hold on. Do you wear that the rest of the day at work?
I wear it all day at work.
You're trying to tell me you're going to
turns it inside out.
I swear on my daughter's life.
Eyeballs.
On her everything. I have never worn this to the show and taken it off at work. I wear it all day at the office.
He's got a jacket behind him, so he'll just throw the jacket on.
Nope.
That's pretty cool.
I wear it all day at the office.
Well, then the next,
I'm not ashamed of you, Bubba. You're not my dirty little secret.
By the time you get back on the air, like January 18th, maybe we'll have them remanufactured, and I'll get you one. Okay, buddy?
December 22nd, baby. I'm bringing the heat.
Will your daughter use the backpack?
I mean, the backpack's as big as my daughter, so.
Did you see Dan's kids?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they wore it?
Well, no.
Or did he film them? He filmed a reaction video?
Yeah, you didn't see
the
it?
unboxing? No, I didn't see it. I have a Dan blocker on my phone.
You do?
I developed an app. I paid a guy to develop an app so it blocks out anything Dan related.
Man, you guys, do you think you two could do a show together?
We did one for years.
I know. But things have changed since then.
What's changed?
Who's
changed more, me or Dan?
I think his hate for you has changed.
Yes, it's definitely his hates for me has grown.
That's the only way that Dan will not be on a microphone to do a show with Brian. He refuses to.
That's why the Killer
before.
Bees started. It was Dan and Brian with Bubba in the middle of it, and then it was one episode and then done, and then Brent slid in. Yeah, just one episode.
This musical festival.
All right, so listen, everybody knows about the Vegas deal. Like, everybody.
That's the payoff?
Yeah.
If you know, you know. Come on.
If you know, you know. Let me show you. This is what I had Dan film for me. Here we go.
This is Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire, and we're going to present the Bubba Army backpack. I want to see Danny's reaction.
To his kids. See, because that determines, Brian, how cool your potential backpack may be when you got kids that wear backpacks, liking them or not.
He's got blue uplighting in his house?
I think little Danny
that's
does.
his room? Okay.
Pause that for a sec.
What a rough life, huh?
Roughing it.
Hold on, he's got Macho installed.
65-inch TV.
No, probably 70 with full-blown LED lights. That's a pretty good vibe, man.
What's the brand on that TV? Can you see it?
No, but he's playing Madden, the latest Madden.
22-3.
Dan's really huffing and puffing walking up those stairs.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Just be quiet.
Stewart, $100 on the Cash App.
Thank you. And that's for, let me write this down at $250. And of course,
Rob Green at $200.
Rob Green at $200. Oh yeah.
John Kostic, $100.
Here we go. Oh, John Kostic, how much was he?
$100.
Slinging steel out of Valpo. So
that's cool.
You like it?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, isn't it? Dude, it's got 1 million pockets, and it's got a USB charging port too. So you can hook something up on the inside, it'll charge.
Is Dan in congestive heart failure? What the hell? He sounds like a morbidly obese guy.
Right?
I'm just saying.
I can't let you cut on my boyfriend with him not being here to defend himself. Just
He's
shut your
more than
hole.
welcome to call in,
cool.
but he'll be winded.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm glad. Awesome. I'm glad you like it.
Primetime Toys, $25, Cash App.
Badass.
Does that say again?
Primetime Toys, $25, Cash App.
All right, cool. I'm glad. All right, thank you.
All right, so now that's now I almost hate to even show Brian the other one because he's going to have a heyday with it.
Dude, you have to.
You
have to now.
I know, but Brian is going to have a absolute heyday.
You have to. It's only like a minute.
I know. He's going to cut it down to shreds.
Yeah.
Dan may drive his Ferrari over to Brian's office and smash him in the face today.
All right, let's play it then.
Here we go. So he has 2 kids, right? And he wanted to get both kids' reactions to the backpack, okay? The first one we saw, Brian, was little Danny, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, here's Sophia. What is she, 16?
15.
She's 15, and she's got her boyfriend over.
Oh, gosh.
And I guess the rule is your boyfriend, if you guys are going to watch TV together, a parent has to be in the room. And you can see that Romina's less than enthused. Here we go.
Now we're going to get Sophia's reaction.
What is that picture?
Did
he go to like a Native American art exhibit?
We talked about it. It's worth like $70,000.
That's fine art.
Brian, his dad bought it.
You don't understand the first thing about it.
Well, I mean, you're going to make me feel bad now?
That's what it is.
Stop. We're going to get lost in the weeds, and we literally got 2 minutes. Stop. We can't get into the Zeus-like artwork. I've already asked him about it, okay? It was in this discussion in itself.
Hey, Sophie.
Now you can see that Romina, just by her straight body language.
Well, Dan entered the room.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Legs crossed, arms crossed, disgusted.
She doesn't want to be on camera.
Exactly. Well, here neither does the daughter. Here we go.
About this backpack.
No.
But this random guy to us,
like
leg on the couch.
15 years. I mean, yeah, we were like, what is Dan? What, you're allowing this?
Short shorts, jeez.
Hold on.
Why are you filming me?
Why are you filming
That's
me?
a good question.
Just in backpack.
Is it just some backpack? I actually love her real cynical. I love her cynical description. Listen.
Yeah, look at what it says on it.
Wish you felt that way about me.
Army. Yeah. You think it's cool though? Look at the backpack itself. Check it out.
Why is something in there?
Huh?
Something in there?
There's nothing in it.
Is there money in there?
She said, "Is there something in there?"
But
okay, yeah.
That's what she meant.
Well, look.
Just a backpack.
Just a backpack. Would you ever use a backpack like that?
To school?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Don't post that.
Okay.
You're gonna post it.
It's fine. It's just not your style. Not your style.
Not for school, like maybe at an airport.
Okay. But it's a cool backpack though, right? Just not for school for you.
Why filming me?
Why are you filming me? You wonder why Romina hates me more than anything.
She hates you?
Oh, she hates
me.
me.
That's called transference.
She hates me because I take her away from her family.
You take him away from
their family. Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm involved in the taking awayness, am I not?
Yes.
I'm a major part of the taking awayness.
But you also gave her Knox.
Yeah, but she can't quite. Yeah, like why can't she give me that credit?
I don't know.
You wouldn't have the most beautiful set of breasts on all of Bayshore Boulevard had I not convinced your husband to put them on you.
They need to replace that Zeus lightning bolt picture with one of Bubba Clem's originals.
No.
Spin art.
This is what they need to replace it with right here.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yes. Trade them out. That's a fair trade.
Oh, my God.
That's a fair trade.
Oh, my God.
Romeo will burn the house down.
They'll be shooting darts at her over the weekend, I promise you. Today's after show will be a podcast only. A podcast only. So wherever you get our podcast, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, iHeart, doesn't matter. Or Lummy, just go to BubbaArmyHQ.com.
Easiest way.
And boom, there you go. So today's Killer Bees with me and Brian, maybe Rat, will be up. We're going to record here, and it will be posted by noon. And it's a podcast only, so hold yourself accordingly. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for letting me finish.
You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
me, Bubba the Love Sponge,
co-host and show historian Lummox,
co-host Anna Hummel,
co-host Dr. Dan Diaco Esquire of Council, co-host J. Diaco Esquire, the Spitting Cobra of Council,
Rhett, the Filthy Ginger video editor.
Yeah, back here wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
The BRN agent, Thomas Buttoned Up B.
And for everything else, go to thebubbaarmy.com.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We must dissuade him of this delusion.
Until next time, always remember.
I'll repeat hello. I'm back.